surprise, we're doing a just last minute podcast. Bill Duda hit me up, said, hey, you want to do one? Said, why not? It's Sunday. Let's get weird. So this should be fun. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Bill just said he wanted to do a podcast. So we're just going to wing this one all the way up. Hunter, hey buddy. How's it going? Me and you need to do it again real soon. That podcast is going over real well. People are loving it. So I'm excited for this one. Dang, everybody got in here quick. Got Hunter's Gold, many things. Tanfo Timmy. Where'd you get your facial hair? The dollar store. Yep. I got it from the dollar store. I still am holding out to grow a beard. You starting to get the beard going, but just these little bitty patches here. Just that. Shave my face? Fuck no. I can't remember the last time I haven't had hair on my face. Probably junior high. It's been a hot minute. Well, Bill should be in here any minute. Let me send him a request. That's probably what we need to do. Oh, there we go. There's Bill. I said accept. There we go. Ooh. Look at you. You look gorgeous.
Check this out. Look. It's like the most redneck fucking beard ever, right? Or look, I got a bald spot here, right? No hair will grow here, and then this one's even bigger. No hair.
Bro, do you see this right now? You see this bald spot right
you
here?
Got one.
And then look at this. You see this right here?
But at least yours match up. Look, my shit looks good on this side. This side's like, nah, fuck it.
Bro, when I grow my facial hair all the way out, I look like Joe Dirte. Okay? It's so bad. So bad. I look like a trailer park Keanu Reeves.
That reminds me, I had this guy I was in the military with, and he said his name was Seaman. And at one point, he started to get self-conscious about everybody fucking with him. He's like, it's Simone. I was like, no, you're stuck with Seaman now, bro.
You can't church it up, dirt.
No, you're stuck.
Dude, I'm not now. I can't just be the only guy with a goatee and shooting. So now I got to grow mine out and just deal with it.
You've never been the only guy with goatee and shooting.
Yeah, but you're the only, me and you are the ones known for having solid goatees.
Oh, is that it? Is that what I was known for?
Yeah, that's it though.
I'm just pretty sure the crack in my forehead was what I'm known for.
Oh my God.
Like, you need a tissue for that? And I'm like, oh, thanks. And I wipe it here.
Wipe your eyebrow and blow your nose at the same time.
There you go. So what the hell, dude? We haven't been on here for a while.
I know, dude. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
It's been a little bit of a...
Lots changed since we last did one of these.
You think so?
Yeah.
As much as it changes, it stays the same. Doesn't seem like a lot of change is actually going on. I mean, change is going on, but
yeah,
we did one after Foley left, right?
We did indeed. Yeah. I think I don't know. They're all running together.
Yeah, that's the one where we got really, really drunk. I think the last hour was a blur.
Who's we? You got a mouse in your pocket? Because you got fucking trash.
Me and half my personalities.
Yeah. You're the one who went live with no audio for 20 minutes after a 4-hour podcast.
I did that. I did do that. And I didn't know until the next day. Like, I had no idea.
I was sitting because we were on that podcast till late, and I was hungry. I got the munchies, so I was going to go get some Whataburger breakfast. And I think I was sitting in the Whataburger drive-thru trying to get a hold of you, like, Bill, you don't have any fucking audio. My wife's like, what's going on? I'm like, look. She was like, oh, classic Bill.
Yeah, classic shit show. That guy is a total mess. Oh, man.
So how's everything going in your world, bro?
Pretty good so far. I haven't done anything ginormously stupid lately.
Well, you're
Lately,
not trying hard
Give,
enough.
yeah, well, it's the off season. Do you even have like an off season down there, or do you just go off of everybody else's off season?
I guess we just kind of go off everybody else's off season. I don't particularly take an off season. I am right now, just forcefully after Area 2. I told myself I'm not going to touch a firearm until I'm going to give myself like 3 weeks ish. So,
Like any firearm?
no, I'm not. I'm not gonna like shoot a match. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna shoot a
Oh, okay.
match or practice real hard. I'm just gonna kind
At
of
all.
take a chill.
At all. Just
Yeah,
at all. At all.
yeah. It's been nice, man. We went like this weekend. We went spent the week and part of the weekend in Bernie at a golf resort. You know, took the wife shopping, played some golf, just kind of
You know,
relaxed a little bit.
I have a bag of golf clubs in my garage. And I think for like a year I played all the fucking this is right before I started up Go Fast Don't Suck now that I think about it. I played a lot, dude. I was even a member of a club here and
Hell
everything.
yeah.
And then I still sucked like just as much as I did at the beginning. And
Same here.
after replacing some of the neighbors vinyl fencing after I zipped some golf balls into their shit, I decided to stop practicing in my backyard. And then last year, dude, I didn't this whole 2021, I haven't even taken a single club out of the bag. Not a single one.
Well, dude, you need to come down here and let's go play some golf and shoot some shit.
I replaced it. I replaced it with something retarded. I know it's retarded, but it's like it's fun retarded. Look. All right. I'm not bringing the camera with me for this.
Uh-oh.
No.
Many things. This is technically like my house. Yes, my dad is currently staying here, but it's my crib. So
I've
all the
gone.
rooms are my rooms. What is
If
that?
you if you have not run around and shot up a bunch of teenagers with your airsoft rifle, you are not fucking living, bro.
Get out of here. I
No,
thought that was an AR. I didn't know
this
it was an
is
air rifle.
legit airsoft. I mean, it's as close as I could get the thing to my actual like boogaloo rig. But holy shit, dude! Like, we've gone out 3 times
How many
since
how
the
many
off
rounds that
season
thing
started.
hold?
It depends on the magazines you put in it. The mid cap magazines are supposed to hold like 120. I load them up to like 30, 40, somewhere in that range. Just to, I'm doing it more than just shooting up teenagers and a little bit of practice, but
Shut
dude,
up. You're just going out there and murking teenagers for
we
fun.
had, we had, me and 3 buddies went out a couple weekends ago and we brought 2 14-year-old girls. And at one point that was our two of the guys' daughters.
Yeah,
And
let's preference that.
yeah,
That
I'll bring
sounded
that. Yeah,
terrible.
it was two of the guys' daughters. They're both
Okay.
14, so we brought them out there, man. And at one, like, it was the last game of the day, and the ref was like, you know what? He's like, let's just do this. He's like, you six against the rest of you, and there was like 15 fucking people between anything from like a 10-year-old all the way up to another dude our age, and we pushed their shit in so bad. It was it was so brutal, man. At one point, the other team like had a little powwow back at their safe base, and we're like called the ref over like this is bullshit. There's no way you should have pitted us against those 6 dudes. And I'm like, it's 4 dudes and 2 little girls,
Two little
but
girls.
yeah.
Oh my god, man.
It was so much fun. The girls, because they have like the airsoft field there is pretty good. They've got a couple old Chinooks and some school buses and stuff. And at one point, the 2 girls were in the school buses, and I think I described it as they were laughing maniacally, shooting teenagers from the school bus. And they were, it was like they were going, some post apocalyptic school bus ride to school to go learn math and geography as they shot the horde of zombies from out the bus windows. It was so
Hell
like
yeah.
all you heard was them laughing and then calling for more ammo.
Oh my god, I gotta get
Yeah.
one of those. That looks like fun.
Dude,
How much does that thing cost? That thing looks legit.
look, compared to a real gun, it costs nothing. Like you could get the legit metal ones are like it's just a couple $100,
Oh
and
shit.
yeah, and like even the EOTech knockoffs here, they look legit, but they're red dot knockoffs. But it was cool. It's a lot of fun going out there and trying to put some of the things that you think against reality. Well, reality. It's all close quarters combat, so. But it's a trip. But it's something to do in the off season. I can't bring myself. I couldn't bring myself to practice in the real season because of all of the expensive ammo. Now I can't bring myself to really practice in the off season either. Just go spend that ammo when I need it for next year for the shooting season. So
yeah, right. That's kind of where I'm at. I've got a limited number of primers for right now. I'm gonna make a buy here at some point. Try to buy.
You said that on our first podcast together.
What, like a year ago?
It was like a year ago. Yeah,
I did make a buy. I made a buy at the probably mid-season. I got like 45,000.
Oh, well, that was a good buy.
Yeah,
you probably could have practiced some.
I did. I know it didn't look like it, but
did you? Maybe you should practice better.
Yeah, maybe I should. But yeah, I'm sitting at I think I have like 30K left, 30, 35, maybe 40. I gotta look somewhere in there.
What's your plans for next year?
Shoot a lot.
Shoot a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
what's the matches you already got earmarked?
All the nationals. I'm gonna shoot all the nationals. I'm gonna shoot
all of the nationals.
Yeah.
Should I go get my revolver out?
Dude, honestly, I've been looking at a revolver. Am I weird for that?
No, not at all.
I thought about maybe shooting revolver nationals just to do it, but I'm gonna be shooting L10, so I don't know. Is that at the same time? I think they are. Yeah. So I'll probably shoot L10 because I already have everything, but I am maybe gonna get a revolver and just show up to like an area match and shoot revolvers for fun.
Dude, to actually practice that revolver, get decent at it, and then go to a match and just push a bunch of freaking production guys shits in. It feels really awesome.
Oh,
it's
I bet it does. Dude. I bet it does.
I'm running, you don't even compete against single stack because it's a bunch of old dudes with bad knees, right? You go and shoot against. You try to beat the production guys. It's so cool. And it's like. Especially when I was match directing and people would come to me and they'd be like, hey, this stage is total bullshit. And I'm like, bro, I beat you on it with a revolver.
Yeah, what are you really going to say?
After spending the entire week here setting the match up. Like, you got 8 hours of sleep last night, didn't you?
Yeah, it would be fun. I've been looking at it. I've been eyeballing one.
What one you been eyeballing?
The Smith & Wesson that Jerry shoots.
The 929?
The 929, yeah.
Yep, that's the one. I mean, that's the one to shoot if you're going to compete with it anyway.
Yeah.
Colt makes one now, but I haven't put hands on it. I'll tell you what, though.
I just want to buy one and not have to fuck with it. You know what I mean?
Okay. If you do, like, this is, I recommend this seriously. When you buy it, I didn't even take delivery of my gun. I had it sent from the person I was buying it from straight to TK Customs. He handled all the workings and all the internals and everything, and then I took delivery of that and shot that for 3 years without a problem. It was just, I've shot some guns that came out stock and I wasn't impressed, especially compared to the one that he worked over for me. So
was he do a trigger job and
the whole shebang over? Dude. It works the chambers, he works the trigger, he works everything, because you need something that's smooth and ready to go. And if the chamfering isn't done well on the 929, he'll fix all that up for you.
Sweet.
Because you want to be able to take that moon clip and throw it at the cylinder and let it guide its way in. It's the only way to make revolver work. It's the only way.
Yeah.
It's like,
plus I gotta buy all that other shit. I need to get with you on that.
Yeah, the moon clips and stuff like that. The nice thing is you won't have a lost brass match. Seriously, buy some fucking Starline, and you'll always get your brass back, and you don't feel like you wasted money on brand new brass.
That's a pretty good benefit of revolver nobody thinks about, man. You never lose brass. What are we doing here?
Actually, I had a funny story. So, Area 8, the first year I ran the match, I actually didn't make chrono. And my own match, I didn't make chrono with my revolver. And it was a 686 something. It's the 357 model, right? So 357 and 9mm have a similar chamber pressure. So yeah, I had them chamfer it out to take a 9mm case and moon clips. And when I did that, it ran long loaded 9mm all day long. But when I didn't make chrono, I had a bunch of revolver guys that were there that like they want the competition, so they want to shoot against me. So like, look, I brought plenty of ammo. Here's a bunch of 38 specialties. I just take it over and shoot it. And I took it over to chrono, made chrono, and I took the brass out, and it warped all of his brass. Right, like the 6 rounds they shot or whatever, it warped it all because it was an unsupported chamber as far as the 38s go. And I took it back and I was like, bro, I really appreciate it, but I know how it is, and I can't do this to your brass. I'm going to feel dirty for having done it all day long. I was like, here, just take it back. I'll shoot the match in the for fun category or whatever and call it a day.
Dude, we should pick a match in the season, maybe after nationals or something, where we all just show up and shoot revolver.
Oh, Jesus, that would be cool. Just like have a whole freaking...
Just have a whole revolver squad of just goons like us who normally don't shoot revolver, just go shoot revolver.
Trying to swiftly move around the stage while you're doing this with your gun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The Revo guys are having trouble getting ammo at the World Shoot in Thailand.
What is that? Was that Kita? Just have her get on.
Yeah. Kita, you just jump on here. Here,
just
Kita.
Jump on here. Come on in. The water is nice. Well, it's terrible, but...
Yeah, we are just adding people into this podcast throughout, so if you want to get on, just say so. What's up, Kita?
Hey, guys. Hey. How are you?
What's up, lady?
How are you prepped for this? You like makeup and hair and everything?
I put my makeup on, too.
I tried, but my concealer's not working great. I think that's a thing.
I had a podcast with Maria Gushina today in Russia. So I have everything all set up. I'm just like, boom, in.
Oh, you even have some lighting going on there. Did you buy a light ring after that?
I have a silly little ring.
Oh my gosh, we got a light ring, everything.
The whole Instagram thing ready to roll.
She's Maria IPSC on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
She's a monster, dude.
She is amazing. Oh my goodness.
I need to try to get her on here.
I can hook it up. So I met her when she was this little teenage girl, and she was just crushing grown men's souls, like what Jaleese and Justine are doing now. But she was like the first female to ever crush grown men's souls and make them cry.
Is it just in Russia she's beating up on them?
No. She, at the World Shoot, she took 6th in production overall, not in women's, but overall in production, 6th place. So in IPSC, they call it the Super
Doing the work.
6.
She's a beast.
Her dad is former KGB, and she's been shooting with like unlimited ammo in Russia since she was 11.
She's like, this is so weird to not be shooting at people.
Yeah.
Why is everything made of cardboard?
I just picture at her practices like actual people holding the targets just shaking.
Oh my goodness. No, well, not with her, but they actually do that. Like at the object in Moscow, they have a indoor range where they have the guys like go and be the no-shoots. And they get shot in the arm, or like they're wearing body armor, but they get shot in the arm and stuff all the time, and it's totally normal for them to be brought out on a stretcher and bleeding.
The no-shoot.
Yeah, there's no no-shoot.
Is that some kind
you're the new guy?
Like,
you're the no-shoot today.
Oh my god, dude, that's amazing. Fucking Russia for the win.
I'm writing that down. Be the no-shoot.
Be the no-shoot. That's a t-shirt, Bill.
That's the inspirational quote.
Be the no-shoot.
Be the no-shoot. Oh my god.
If
that
you're
should
the new
definitely
guy,
be a
you're
state.
the no-shoot. It's like their initiation process.
What do you got going on for 2022, Kita?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I plan to shoot nationals, and I'll shoot the matches like the Wisconsin State, and well, I am doing a European tour. So
hell yeah.
Classes in Portugal, Italy, Estonia, and Greece, and maybe a couple other places too. Shooting a match in Portugal, level 3. So that's going to be fun.
Holy shit!
Jesus.
Now, what are these guys? Is way cooler than ours.
Well, her international life. Look, that's because she can go to Italy and some dude will want her to hop on the back of their scooter. We go to Italy, right? And they're like,
get out of here, you fat American pigs!
What are you doing? Why are you looking at my women?
How you doing? It's a gabagoo.
She's like, this is magical. We're like, we got kicked into a gutter after a night of drinking. This is bullshit.
Oh.
Yeah, my experience is a little different than yours.
It'll be a little different. Yeah. I mean, I haven't tried the cross. Maybe that's what we should do: shoot revolvers and cross dress.
Yeah. Yep. What's sad is if I did cross dress, I might still not win High Lady, depending on who shows up.
No, what would be sad is if you cross dressed and was a prettier lady than you are a dude.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'd be a way hotter female than I am a guy. That's just how it is.
Have you seen all of my squats? I got the squats down.
Dude, my wife is so evil. She'll like be on TikTok or some shit and she'll be like, hey babe, come look at this. And she's like, isn't this chick hot? And like at first I was like, oh yeah, I mean, she's pretty. And he's like, well, that's a guy. So, and I'm like, what? Now she says it, I'm like, fuck you, I don't trust you. That's a dude.
Yeah, I don't trust you at all.
That's a dude. I'm never answering that question again. I don't care where we are.
That's good. She's training you to fear every unknown female as a cross-dressing dude.
Well, if you ever go to Asia and you see a hot chick, it's definitely a dude.
Yeah, says the one that just got back from Thailand, right? Or are you still in Thailand?
No, I'm not in Thailand.
Okay. You said when you were in Thailand, they were having a hard time with ammo for a revolver?
No, that's for the World Shoot coming up this year. The U.S. revolver team is like, you can only bring 11 pounds of ammo, which isn't enough to shoot the match. And they're very specific in their loads, and they can't get the ammo they need when they get there. They can't buy it there. They just don't have it.
Can they drop ship it?
They have to send components and bring a reloading press with them.
No shit.
So what I told them to do is bring 2 checked bags, and you just put most of the ammo in one of the bags and like hide it in things they don't want to look at. And then when you go to the counter, you check that bag first. Once it's in, then you say, oh, by the way, I have a firearm. It's in this bag.
Yep.
And then the other bag with the ammo is already gone. Yeah.
So we're gonna see trick I've been using here for a while.
The U.S. ammo mules.
Yeah, that's a veteran move, Kita. I've been screwed at the TSA counter a couple times, and from then on, I put all my ammo in my bag with my clothes. I send that through, and then hey, by the way, I need to check a gun, and then I'll put like 200 rounds in there. Any ammo? Yeah, right here.
Yep. And you can't do it on the way back, because on the way back from another country, your ammo has to be in a separate bag from your firearm. So you do have to have 2 checked bags when you travel internationally with a firearm. Otherwise, you can't bring any ammo back with you. But on the way out, they can be in the same bag, because in the U.S. it's fine.
Well, Kia, of the 3 of us, you're the only one that's going to run into that problem in 2022.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a fact.
How the hell are you doing with the COVID restrictions in these countries? Are you running into issues there where you got to like hang out for 2 weeks before you can even go play?
No, they're not forcing you to quarantine or anything like that. You just have to have a negative COVID test within 72 hours of your flight.
Oh, okay.
For each different country I go to, I have to be there for like 3 or 4 days at least, just because I have to be there long enough for my COVID test to come out. But I also have natural immunity. I don't have the vaccine. I have natural immunity, which is 3 times better than the average person with the vaccine, who has a 1.2 on average. My natural immunity personally is a 3, because I got it in 2019. So I just print that out, and they can see that I've had COVID. I have the antibodies, and they don't always make me test, because I can show them my antibody test.
Yep. Well, I couldn't even find a place around here that does the antibody test.
Yeah, and you can't go through the healthcare system when you do it, because they water down the results. You have to go through the private sector, because the healthcare system gets a payout for each vaccine they give. So they water down the antibody results so that they can say, oh, you don't have antibodies, you better get the vaccine.
That's why you got to have a trusted doctor.
Well, even then, it still goes through the same lab. So I would go through the private sector if you want to get an antibody test. Otherwise, your results won't be accurate.
All right, I'll DM you after this so I can get some kind of spun up on that. I don't want to get into all that really deep, but Jesus. So
it's
yeah,
smart.
so you're spending.
I can get a test shipped to you. I used to be.
Yeah, I remember. That was your recent Brian Conley podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I was an RN, so I can get you.
I've been keeping up with that podcast. I've even listened to the USPSA podcast.
Brian's podcast is good, man. I like his podcast.
Yeah,
I don't miss him.
He's so neutral, and he can get literally anyone to come on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're all so polarizing, and there are certain people who won't talk to us.
Trust me, I reach out to people, and they're like,
nope.
No. I'm like, why not? They're like, nope.
Hey, I got all of the candidates
like Asian dudes.
He does like Asian dudes. That's why he wanted to join here as soon as you talked about Thailand.
Yep. I heard Thailand. I was like, get her on here.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Anyway. So yeah. So have you is anybody down by you running the postal match, the Go Fast Don't Suck postal match?
We're in the off season here in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We get snow.
You guys have been in the off season for like a month and a half now,
yeah,
right?
It's very, very cold here.
Yeah, that was my fault.
So much, it's like Alpha Delta, Alpha Delta.
Yeah, we're in the middle of our winter right now, and it's cold as hell. It's like 60. It was like 66 today.
What?
Like a little overcast.
I hate you so much.
Oh man, well, since it's off season up there, when do you go out of country again?
That's not until June. So
okay.
My first trip out of country since COVID was to Aruba, and this will be my next one. Is my European tour.
Okay, well, if you're coming from Wisconsin, go ahead.
This European tour has been postponed for 2 years because of COVID.
Oh yeah. Struggle's real.
Even Worlds have been postponed. Everything's been postponed over there.
I had 2020 was supposed to be the first time I go international, and I was going to hit 3 matches in 3 different countries, and it all got postponed. And then I was going to maybe try to do it in 2021, and I was like, yeah, that's not happening. So I'm just going to wait until the world's normal and then go on that adventure.
And I was supposed to teach in South Africa, and they got shut down. Now they just got shut down again because of this Omicron variant.
The Transformers variant.
Now they're travel restrictions.
The Transformers variant. And they actually had prohibition. So during the lockdown, during COVID, South Africa went through prohibition, and they couldn't buy cigarettes.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
No wonder there's so much crime down there.
No food, no cigarettes.
No wonder there's so much crime.
That causes COVID, apparently.
Bro, if you took away our country's cigarettes and booze,
like that's the only thing that got people through 2020.
Just taking away one of those created a huge problem.
Oh, God, we're going to war.
We need our sin, damn it. Oh,
Jesus.
Man.
Well, since you're coming from Wisconsin, January or February, we need to have you down here for a class because it won't be too cold.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, so I'll hit you up after this. We need to set that up because I got hit up right before nationals. I was getting 4 to 5 people every local match. Like, you need to get Keita down here, and I'm like, you can make a phone call too. They're like, no, you need to do it. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm the bitch. Let me just figure it out.
You want me to do 2 things?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
You could be my range B word.
Yeah, exactly.
B word.
Jesus,
so adorable.
Standing right here. So my range B word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
Trixie.
Like my teenager, I'm sure she's never heard a single
word.
Yeah,
I'm sure Trixie has never heard a bad word. There's HD Golds.
Wasn't she sitting in class cussing out her teachers recently or something? Or was that just the school board?
She basically got kicked out of school.
For being awesome.
When is
she's writing a blog for the Wisconsin state government because of it.
Wait, what?
She's for them or about them? There's a difference.
For the Republicans who are running.
Oh, right. Okay. So about for them, about them. It was both.
Yes, it's a little bit of both.
So you got
understand. They said, "Will you write a blog for us?" She's like, "Sure." So she just wrote on the authoritarian school system. She wrote another one on natural immunity, and now she's writing on mask mandates. So she's doing a good job.
She needs to get up in all up in that journalism life, man.
Well, she's not. Well, she gets it from her mother, right?
I know.
She's a good little writer.
Yeah, I wonder who she got that from.
Yeah.
When is your book? You had another one coming out. When does that actually? You're finishing it up. When does it drop?
It's going to be sometime in 2022. Really, the layout is what takes the longest because I suck at it. The writing part is easy. I can write all day long.
I mean, you've written a lot of books.
In the places. Yes, I have written a lot of books.
We need you guys.
Pretty much all the books.
Yeah, but I had a person to do all the layout for me. I just had to make words. I can make words go. I can't make pictures go and layout go.
For Christmas, everybody needs to send Keita a care package of some tissues because she's going to cry herself to sleep at night.
Yes.
Over these layouts.
I literally cried like a little baby, like a little girl when I was doing the layout on the last one.
Oh, hell.
He's not here yet. Pixie's waiting for her Uber Eats anxiously. Like, are they here? Are they here?
Oh.
Kids these days.
She's getting angry.
Back when I was a teenager, we had to walk uphill in the snow both ways to go get food.
Right. I had to actually cook it.
Yeah, right. Same here. I had to go get the government cheese out of the pantry and see what mom got from the food bank. Noodles or just cheese?
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I've come a long way.
Hell yeah.
All right, then. Well, we look forward to making fun of your international travels next year. Send us plenty of pictures.
Yeah, send us all the ladyboy pics.
You know what Matt Olenchek asked me to put in my book?
What?
And I'm going to do it.
Uh-oh.
There's actually a lot of really legit research on this. He asked me about how do I put this? Sexual activity during a match. Whether
during
or harmful.
During the match?
I think during is going to be
like in the
problem.
Not during, but
But you said it during.
Like before, right after. So it's the same sports science. Yeah, we used to play with that all the time in football. Yeah, like what should you do? Should you do it or shouldn't you do it? There's a lot of science behind it.
So yeah, there is. And what they found is that if
sex on the range. I'm not finding any results here, guys. I don't think it's a thing.
So if it's a testosterone-driven sport, like a really aggressive sport, like maybe hockey or football, they found it's not beneficial, but it's also not detrimental as long as you're not losing sleep over it.
Yep.
See, the problem is
a different sport. If it's like golf, or for us shooting, something that takes a lot of focus and concentration, they found there actually is a benefit.
Matt, the problem is here. Matt wanted to know if he was losing because he wasn't getting laid. And you're confirming it. He's like, I used to win all the time. I got married and now I can't win. It's obviously my wife's fault.
Of course. I mean,
I'm going to need you to go ahead and put that in the book. So then every time I'm at a match, I can be like, honey, look at this. You see this? This is the training regimen here. I need this.
She's like, but you drove over there with 3 dudes. Have all the sex you want.
Yeah, right. She's gonna be like, Chase, it's up to you, buddy.
I'll cite my sources. You can go check out the original studies. The science is coming out. It's changing. It used to be believed that it was detrimental. Now they're finding it can be helpful in really particular sports, and ours is one of them.
That's awesome. God. Definitely put that in the book. Zen Precision
the porta potties are going to get really weird around these matches. Now.
Zen Precision said, talk about go fast, don't suck. Oh,
I got no fast, all suck stickers here.
Yeah.
I was just about to record the video with the targets you just sent me. They just arrived, so I was just about to make that video, and I picked up my phone to start recording. I'm like, oh, it's Bill and Trevor.
Yeah, these chuckleheads. Let me see what these chuckleheads are up to.
Yeah,
Right.
we're just doing nothing important.
Nope. Nope. Yeah, so Kita, we're trying to pair up some of our dry fire targets to go along with Kita's book, and maybe some. I think we might be working on some inserts too. So we'll see how that works out for people that buy from her directly. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can make that work out.
Get it. So Mahal just pushed her "I love you" button. She talks. She has talking buttons. What did you just say? She went.
Wait, is this an animal?
Yeah, she talks. You want a treat?
Oh, holy shit! Your dog is smarter
My
than
dog
Bill.
talks.
Yeah, I can't.
You want a treat?
Bill
can't be
couldn't do
trained.
that.
I couldn't be trained.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So the dog suckers you in by pushing the "I love you" button. And you walk over there, and she
I
goes,
love you.
pushes
so
the treat button.
manipulative.
Give me a treat.
Oh my
She says
god.
"I love you" just to get me over there, and then she's like, "Treat."
Treat.
Whatever.
What did you say? I said treat.
I said, babe.
I'm gonna send you a new button. It says "snack bitch" on it. Snack bitch.
Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, with Pixie in the house, I have to watch my mouth. I stubbed my toe today, and I literally said swear word.
Look,
How old is she? She's like 13,
I told my
right?
kid when she was 10, I was like, look, you're not allowed to swear. I was like, unless it's justified. Stubbing your toe, justified. As long as you don't get carried
Justified.
away with it. I'm like, what are you cussing about? And she's like, I just stubbed my toe. Like,
I get it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
fair
That would
enough.
hold up in court.
I did.
Right.
Justified use of force there.
Pixie is using Uber Eats for the first time, and she's like, my food is going to be cold. He stopped at Taco Bell.
How dare he?
Yeah, they have to make multiple stops, Pixie.
She's about to start swearing at the Uber Eats driver.
She's going to be like, swear word. My mom taught me that one.
Swear word.
Swear word. That's a new one.
See,
I gotta use that.
I went the other way with that, Kita. I don't stop myself. And I always told her, I was like, look, you're not allowed to do it. You know better. I was like, but when you do start cussing, I expect you to do it correctly.
Yeah.
Don't let me down.
You're going to have years of just golden material lined up. You better be the expert.
Like, you don't want to be the kid that's yelling, you booger nose jerk face. And she's like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God. What did you say?
Well, she makes the decision for herself. Every once in a while, something slips out, and I just laugh.
The worst I've said is A word.
The worst she said is A word.
ASS.
Apples?
Ass?
Assimilate?
Assembly?
Associate. That is a terrible word.
A metaphor.
Oh my
All
god,
right,
that's
then.
amazing.
Well, shit.
Well, we'll
fun,
let you.
Peter. Damn.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a trip, overseas trips. That'll probably take up most of your year. But if you do ever end up at a match with Trevor and I, we make you reclassify or re-division as a revolver, and we hand you one. You're stuck doing it. So.
Yep. Yeah, you're definitely stuck if we hand you a
Well, I'm
revolver.
like one step away from that being in production.
Yeah, right?
Reload.
Yeah,
you
production.
need to just go ahead and go open. Just have all the fun.
Free optics looks like fun.
If you're coming for production, it's gonna be. Okay. I can't wait to see what your book comes out as after you start practicing with a red dot sight on your production rig. It's gonna change some of your book material, I think.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is you can lie to yourself with iron sights a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Start
yeah.
drying fire with that red dot, and you can't lie to yourself at all. You're like, I jerked that trigger so freaking. It jumped off the target and into the carpet. I had jerked that trigger so hard.
It's immediate feedback.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dry firing with a red dot and dry firing with irons is two totally different animals.
Totally. So
I'm excited to see
all
the
right,
book.
then. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's
The
looking
actual
good.
science instead of just like opinion. So,
Yeah, right.
well, I guess yeah.
Yeah, everything is supported. I don't make stuff up. Everything I put in there is supported. So all this vision training stuff that Bill, you've been making this kit for me. This is
Mm-hmm.
all based on research by Joan Vickers. She did all of this research on vision training, but she passed away and didn't get to the point of drawing conclusions based on her research. So
What a
what I did
quitter.
with this kit was I actually drew conclusions for shooting based on her research. That makes sense.
So you finished her research. That's pretty gangster.
And that's why I called it Look Smart. So in my first book, I called it The Quiet Eye because that's what she called it, and I was just reiterating her research. In this book, I drew conclusions based on her research, so I called it Look Smart, to go with the Train Smart and Smart Move, all that fun stuff. So I felt like because I was the one drawing the conclusions, I should give it my own name.
Listen, you're being way too intelligent for my viewership.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Do you know
So we
the
should go
the
back to talking about
savage
sex at a
monkeys? Yeah, do you know the
Let's
savage
go back to
monkeys that are
swearing.
on this? Yeah, let's go back to
No,
swear words.
howler monkeys. We're howler monkeys, don't you know?
No, but hey, when that book comes out, Keita, I'm gonna buy one, go over it, and then we need to have a podcast to discuss the book because that's pretty awesome.
I feel like I need to do like a read with me. And like with my last book, people will buy it and it just sits on their bookshelf and they don't read it. So I need to like make a video of me reading to them like I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah,
Hey man, audiobooks are.
Yeah, and put it on Audible.
So
Right.
with winning in mind, I have the paperback and then I have the audio, and I've listened to the audio like 19 times, and I don't think I've ever cracked that paperback once.
You got to find somebody that narrate it too, like somebody that like can get add inflection and stuff where there's not supposed to. Because I know your book is probably, it's like you said, it was a textbook, right? So people are using it like a textbook, and you get somebody that like adds a bunch of inflection where there wasn't supposed to be any.
That's great. So I have another book that
Morgan Freeman.
So I made it, but it's not live yet. But I'm loving this whole Lego theme.
Oh, that is kind of yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I like the Lego. Okay, the Lego dude. Oh shit! You know what? A buddy of mine. I know I'm supposed to bring the camera with me when I do shit like this, but oh shit!
Bill, we don't expect much out of you.
I know. I don't. Yeah.
Look at that.
Look,
you got graphs and charts.
All right.
And...
Yeah.
So we've got my own Go Fast Don't Suck Lego, right? But as a to your point earlier, he made it. I put the head on it now. It's got the goatee.
It's got the goatee.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, as my buddy Mark Evans, he's now a range master up here in the Northeast. So
Yeah.
he just really hates his free time. Oh, look, you got the shadows going and everything.
Yeah,
I call them shadow boxing. Oh, you do have a box for it. It is a shadow box.
See, that's too fancy.
Yo, what up?
All right. All right, so Keita's got her book coming out, and we're both really underperforming compared to what Keita's doing next year. She's traveling internationally, and we're like, we're gonna shoot some matches.
Yeah, I feel like a hunk of shit. I'm like, I'm gonna go shoot some stuff and drive around with my homies.
So 2020. So right now the Go Fast Don't Suck postal match is going on, right? We talked about it real briefly earlier. We did. I got started really late on it. I finally one day just broke down, went to the range, set it up. We've already got 20 people participating, but it was only through October through December, so we're not really in like the prime of the season. So I really fucked that up this year. That was my fault. Next year we're doing it in the spring again, and we're doing the USPSA. I've also got an IDPA one. And we're going to do Steel Challenge one as well. So I've talked to a bunch of Steel Challenge clubs, and we're going to include them in their own postal match next year. So Steel Challenge is really a hard thing to like. If you actually look at their stages, there's a lot of thought put into them. They do like on some of them, the size of the target is not different. They're just at different distances. So they'll put the 10-inch closer and then set the 12-inch and then the rectangle way down there. And if you actually look at the scale, they're all the same fucking size. They're just far apart. So I'm trying to develop some stages that kind of get into the same spirit. But we're going to do those three sports next year and include all of them. Try to get everybody playing some kind of postal match.
Nice.
That'd be pretty neat.
Especially since Steel Challenge, like, we do a Steel Challenge Nationals, but oh my God, like did you guys have a Steel Challenge area match in your areas?
Yeah, we had Area 4 Steel Challenge.
What about where you're at, Keita? Did they do one?
We did here. It's hard to even get a local match with Steel Challenge around here. Nobody wants to set it up. And in the winter, it's like impossible. You can't even see the ground.
You can't determine the target from the background. Jesus. Maybe they should allow you guys to paint the steel a different color. But anyway, I digress. The areas were this last year was the first year they did the areas even did a Steel Challenge match. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be more common. I think they made a push for it last year, and this year 2022, they're going to keep it up. So I know we're doing another one here.
So somebody asked, any classes coming up, Keita?
Yeah, I've got January in Florida. I've got one in Longview, Texas. I've got Richmond, California. Then, of course, the European tour is going to take a big chunk. I'm working on one in Alaska for this year.
Hey-yo. I know somebody up there will take it.
Yeah?
Yeah, James Tate, one of my teammates. He'll jump on that shit in a heartbeat.
Nice.
He's fiending for some shooting up there. He just moved up there, and he's like, it's not Vegas. I'm like, yeah, it's not, dummy.
Yeah, and of course, I always do Double Eagle Poconos on the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border.
That's with Callahan, right? Sam?
Yeah.
You do one out in the Poconos?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They have a mansion on the range.
It's the
That's pretty ridiculous.
It is. So the students get to stay in a mansion on the range for like $60 a night, and they have a meal plan where they cook everything for you. It is haunted though. Pixie usually comes with me, and she named ghost Alfred.
I'm out.
She thinks
on the
he's
haunted.
the dead butler. So JJ went there.
Really?
So I told JJ, like,
don't you live in like an ancient Aztec graveyard or something over there in Texas?
I was so scared.
Bro, I live in a house that was built like 7 months ago, okay? On property that I'm pretty sure was not an Indian burial ground.
So I told
and it was
JJ,
blessed before I moved in.
I told JJ, you've got to go to this range. It's just amazing. You can stay in a mansion on the range. They do everything for you. It's a great setup. It's a great location. So he goes and he's like, Keita, you did me wrong.
Because it was haunted?
So freaked out the entire time of the ghost. The
I don't fuck with ghosts, man.
Plays itself just like one key. Just randomly. This one key will just play. Like in the room where we do our indoor instruction, like the classroom, we'll be in the middle of the class and it just goes dong.
Yeah, I'm a hard pass on that. I'm out. You'd see ass and elbows. Just listen.
I'm there. I'm there. Let's go to the haunted mansion. That'll be awesome.
Listen, I told my wife, if Jason or Freddy Krueger or somebody walk in here or 50 guys, I'm fighting, right? I got a chance. But if you get sucked into the abyss by a ghost, I'm leaving you, the dogs, and this house. I'll be in another fucking state before they find you. I'm out on ghosts. I don't mess with ghosts.
Yeah, and JJ's like, well, what am I going to do? I can't shoot it.
So weak.
The donuts start to disappear. That's JJ's nightmare right there.
Oh, shit. Where is Zach at? Is he in here?
We gotta.
No, Zach's not watching.
Well, we gotta get a class set up out here, Keita, and then whenever the book drops, let me know. We'll do a podcast.
All right.
But I'll read it first, so I'm versed, and then we'll do the podcast.
Or I'll read it.
I don't believe you.
Garden teacher.
Or yeah, you can read it on the podcast. I don't really care.
It'll be the whole podcast. 4 hours of Keita reading the book to you.
4 hours of Keita reading her book to me.
You'll be like, what is Bussy? Miss Bussy?
I'm sitting
what
here
is that?
taking notes. What was that?
What was that?
Can you repeat?
And then Bill's just sitting there like randomly inserting words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll rewrite the book.
Assimilation.
Let me handle the layout. I'll try. You see what I'll try to explain. Like you'll say a college word, and I'll have to explain it to him.
Somebody said Bangin Brass. Somebody said Bangin Brass reading, and then another person said I'd watch that podcast. Hey, dude, I read on like a 3rd grade level. Fuck off.
Oh wow, that's a lot more than I thought you were capable of. So
I went to college, all right, asshole, and I was pretty
Spell
decent. Asshole or college?
Yeah, take your pick.
Oh my god. How do we always end up off the rails?
There was rails.
Hey, did her Uber Eats show up?
Yeah, she just came in
Yeah.
here and said, "Mom, I ate all of it."
Holy crap! In the time it took us to talk about nothing, she got her Uber Eats and ate it. That's terrifying, actually. It's like the Coneheads.
Teenagers, unlimited appetite.
I remember those
Brian
days.
I got Brian's watching, right? You should
Yeah.
have Brian jump in here.
Yeah.
Brian.
Ow. Go back.
So I just sent Brian a message the other day saying, so Brian asked me to do a photo shoot for him with the glasses, and I did. Hi, Brian.
Woo! Good Lord.
Oh.
Dude, you realize
He must have been pre-gaming.
I just got through playing a football game and we won in overtime.
Oh, Brian.
Playing a football game.
4 overtimes.
Why were you out there tackling the Pee-wees?
They could have
Brian?
been shit in the first
I-
half.
I can't see Brian out there on a real football field. Like
For
he
you
must be
guys-
playing against Pee-wees.
For you guys who are listening, Brian had his hair all fucked up and had what appeared to be only a shot left in a Crown bottle.
It's
That's
like,
Jefferson's.
I'm not going to
Jefferson's. Whenever he showed
I'm
up
not going to
just now.
flirt with him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna flirt with him. Fucking hell.
Oh,
Man,
That's
I've
still-
had the most stressful 24 hours of my life. But how are y'all doing?
I'm great. I don't watch football. Sorry.
Oh, well.
Me neither.
Oh,
I do.
It's been a rough. I'm just glad to be
Is
here.
this? It seems like it was not a normal win. Like, is this a new occurrence for Alabama or something?
We have never been in a overtime game in the Iron Bowl, and we went to 4 overtimes, and it was
4
just
overtimes,
nuts. And
yeah.
we 4 overtimes, and we beat Auburn, which is down south of us. So it's just one of those things. So,
Nice.
it's a
Yeah,
major-
I
It's a major deal.
Congrats.
I was watching the game and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I just knew that you and Hammer and Sear and everybody were fucking squirming.
Yeah.
If
Most
y'all would have lost,
definitely.
I was going to send y'all a message like, hey, are you guys okay? Take the gun out of your mouth. Put the cyanide capsule down.
Yeah.
Well, let's be fair. Hammer would have had a penis in his mouth, not a gun.
For sure. For sure. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Well, we're trying to talk about 2022. What you got going on for 2022, Brian?
I'm still planning that out as we speak. I've been on the computer all day working. I just more matches, more podcasts, more excitement. New things are going to drop January 1 because I always do that every year. Something new drops. And thank you again, Keita, for being on the podcast. We had great success with it so far.
So I
Hey,
sent Brian a message yesterday or day before about this poster that I did for him with the glasses on. the company that I send pictures to and they send me posters so I can mail them out to people just randomly sent me this life-size poster of myself laying out on a wall with Brian's glasses on.
And
what am I gonna do with
you know what the
this?
problem was? You posted this picture like you didn't know who it came from, and you only tagged Hunter's HD Gold like I sent it to you.
Oh no!
Okay.
No, I didn't realize it came from them. I didn't know who it came from at first.
This is easy, Keita. I don't know why this is so difficult. We need to auction that off.
For sure.
That was
We
my
need to
question.
auction it
I was
off.
like, how do I auction a photo of myself without looking like a narcissistic swear word?
You have Bill do it for
only-
you.
I'll do it for you. I'll be the narcissist. I've got years and years of practice at this.
You have to sign it and include a book.
Well, Brian made a great suggestion of making it like a package and adding some Hunter's HD Gold, adding a dry fire kit, you know, having some sponsors pitch in some stuff and make it a package and put it toward Pixie's Uber Eats.
There you go.
I mean, Pixie's
Something-
college fund.
something to sustain her for a few more months. With the way she eats, maybe that's a few more weeks.
It's like a week.
Right,
A week on her Uber Eats bill.
For her college fund. My favorite
There
charity.
you go. That's not a bad plan, Kitty. You should make that. I'll chip in a dry fire pack. Let me know.
I'll chip in some Bangin Brass merch.
That'd be cool. All right. Maybe we can get super
We could probably get Hammer and Sear to send you some used undies or something. I don't know.
Definitely. I could probably throw in a ghost holster too.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Shout out to these guys. They're awesome.
Yeah, and I've got some stuff from Ipsic store I can throw in there.
Ooh, see, this is
Do
turning
the,
into a
I
whole
flip a
thing.
cat shirt, maybe in men's, one men's.
Well,
one
if you're
women's.
actually going to go through with it, let me know because I've got a new gig I'm working on. I'm waiting to finalize the details for next year. But if that's going to work out the way I want it to, I might have some more stuff I can throw at you for that.
I've got that stuff already, Bill, when you need it, so just let me know.
Did you? Because I haven't gotten a reply from it yet.
I've got stuff from the past, so we're not going to expose what's going on, but I've got some stuff that we
Okay.
can do as well.
So where do you go to auction stuff? Like, what's a good site for that?
Go
OnlyFans.
fast, don't suck. OnlyFans.
Oh shit! Hold on, I'm thinking something else. Hold on, maybe not OnlyFans.
Go fast,
Oh.
don't suck, with a life-size poster of Keita Bussy for no reason.
Oh, I don't know if you really want my fans to be the ones that have your poster in their house, though. Especially a life-size one.
Although
You're gonna
send
end
me a
up-
picture of it 1 year later. I want to see what it looks like.
It's gonna end up in
I don't
some
wanna see
Buffalo
it.
Bill
Oh,
house. It puts
wearing
the lotion on the
wearing your
skin.
poster. Do I look pretty? Yeah, I do. Watch me move. Oh,
My
crap.
fucking cheeks hurt.
Why am I here?
Laughing so hard I'm crying.
Why you're here because we need the material.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh. So what else? So you got so this year I know you did an I-Core match
yes.
and you touched on a couple more shotgun matches than you did last year, didn't you?
Yes, and back to what you were talking about earlier. When you're ready, I've got a 929 that's already been decked out by TK Customs for you, Trevor. And guess what?
He does.
Hogue actually put one of my lenses in the grip. So
Wait,
it is.
what?
What?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yep, they actually got one of my lenses, and the lenses change when they get in the sun still, and it's actually in the grip.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
well,
so cool.
done. Hey,
It's-
Brian,
There
let
you
me
go.
know what match you're going to. I'm going to show up. I'll shoot revolver.
All right, I'm working.
He
on my,
literally puts them on his boy page.
Yeah, I'm working on all my sponsorship starting tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I got a paperwork on the back of my desk about an inch, by over an inch thick of paperwork of matches I'm going to sponsor next year. So we're not slowing down.
Hardest working man in shooting sports.
It's true, yeah.
Thank you, brother. We got we got Dustin now doing my marketing with a lot of other things going on that we're doing different in marketing. So our social media has looked different over the past couple of months, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback from that. But he's the one that wanted me to do the podcast, and we're gonna start doing matches again. I think the second week of February, going down to the Florida State USPSA match. So I'll be down there again, and we'll get started back up. And season 1 of the Behind the Lens podcast will end, I think, right at the end of the year based on doing 2 a week right now. And then we'll kick that back up sometime around the middle of February and get that started back up with season 2. So thank you, all your listeners, to everybody that's made that such a big success so far. I had no idea. So,
Dude, you made it a big success. That podcast is awesome.
We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Behind your back.
Yeah, we were.
I appreciate that. So,
exciting stuff.
But yeah, we're doing a lot of things different. We've got, Dustin. I've never had a shooting team, and I'm still not going to have a shooting team. But Dustin is definitely going to work some different levels of sponsorships for different people that are being invited and stuff like that for different roles with Hunters HD Gold in the future. We're also working with a lot of different disciplines we have never done before as much. There's going to be a lot more 3-gun matches next year. If you noticed, the 3-gun show, they just got through doing their fantasy league that they did. They're doing fantasy leagues for shooting, and they're going to do some more of that next year as well. So we're going to sponsor a lot of that as well. But doing a lot more multi-gun, working with Vortex a lot closer, and doing a lot of things just to continue to grow with what our base is. We're not ever going to forget about where, USPSA and Steel Challenges put me where I'm at, but I'm definitely wanting to touch some other areas of the shooting disciplines with a lot of help of other shooters that are attending other things as well that I'm not able to go to. And for an example, Bill, we can go ahead and let them know Go Fast Don't Suck is actually going to go through a small training class, but actually he's going to be officially a certified expert when he travels to matches that I don't get to go to. So he'll have demo days with everything he's doing and product to sell as well. He's done some matches I wasn't able to go to this year. So we're looking to expand that model some more in 2022, and just a lot of exciting things to do to help build the brand and help support the shooting sports throughout the United States and, of course, throughout the world with help of Keita and Steve and other people that travel abroad all the time where I'm not able to go as well. So,
which in case
tour.
That's one of the reasons I've had to start growing my hair out.
You do.
Brian has requirements on hair length before
you got to get it out there. I do have
Yeah,
a on hair length.
It's not working.
This has got to go clean shaven.
Oh no!
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to drop out, Brian.
Hey, do I get
Nobody wants to. I have to cover up my face with hair so people don't get horrified by the appearance of me.
Well, it's one of those things that people choose to be lazy every day. So it's one of those things.
Hey, do I get to keep my position as head janitor?
Yes. Yeah, you're going to still clean up the stickers behind the porta potties that Bill leaves behind. Yes.
Oh, I should do something like that. All right. That's another thing I have to write down. Every time we do these, I have to write shit down.
You're
yep,
welcome.
we're always brainstorming.
So when I was deployed, you'd go into any porta-john on any base, and there'd be a different, you'd find stickers from all kinds of units or, people's specific platoons or whatever all over these porta potties. It was wild. So maybe we'll do something like that, like represent yourself with porta potty stickers.
You definitely need to represent
safe table stickers.
Because if you don't
Safe
represent
table
officially, you can end up like Tampo Timmy and have a hard day for not being responsible. So it's definitely need to do it officially so they know what's going on.
I missed it with Tanfo Timmy. What happened with Tanfo Timmy?
You didn't hear about that?
Nuh-uh.
Dude, he had a bunch of his stickers that were either given to other people or whatever, but they ended up in a porta potty at the CMP. And the USPSA, let me back up. The CMP doesn't own those porta potties. They were actually rented out, and there's actually they have to pay money if something's been damaged or a cleaning fee or something like that above and beyond what's normal of a porta potty. So they actually approached, Tampo Timmy and had to talk to him about his stickers in there, and you talked to Tim about it. He knows, he'll tell you all about it. He posted some posts about it. That's how I knew about it.
Woof.
Oh yeah, it's pretty tough. So
hey yo,
and what sucks is the situation happened, during his match. So he had to, had this conversation with leaders, and then all of a sudden had to go shoot a match afterwards. So it was not a situation that I'd recommend anybody want to be in. That's for sure.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Well, but all kidding aside, when the CMP gets charged money for all this extra stuff and it goes back, nobody expects. I don't know. I see both sides of people wanting to do that, but it was just one of those things that at the Nationals just went the wrong way really quick. So.
Yep.
Man.
Damn. That sucks.
I'm going to have to bring that up. He's going to be on my next podcast.
He'll tell you the whole story about it. It'd be a great story. Yeah, he will.
Thanks for the tip. Now I know what to ask.
Yeah.
So tell me about porta potties.
Exactly. He's got a whole story. He does.
Keita's got a podcast. You've got a podcast. Bill's out. He doesn't have a podcast. He just left.
Bye, Bill.
That's awesome, man.
Happened by accident.
Yeah, I didn't even want to do one. Dustin wanted me to do it.
I was talking with Mike Seifert, and I go on other people's podcasts all the time, but I always get asked the exact same questions every time. I feel like a broken record, and I'm like, there's stuff I kind of want to say. So I said, do you want to do just like a 1 hour, one-time thing? Because I have some things I want to talk about. And he was like, yeah, we can talk about Aruba and how that all went. So we did it, and we were like, that was so much fun. And then we did it again and again and again.
That was kind of the driving force behind this one. Was I felt like all the podcasts that were in shooting sports were just
generic.
Yeah, they were all the freaking same. Everybody asked the same questions. So that's why when I have people on, I tell them,
we get drunk.
No, I just say, is there anything you don't want to talk about? That's all I need to know. And then from there, we freelance it, and it keeps it interesting. Sometimes they suck, sometimes they don't. It just depends.
I asked Maria that before the podcast because we're friends, and I know her. So I was like, is there anything you don't want to talk about before the podcast started? And she said, no, I think we're good. I know you won't ask me anything that I don't want to say. And I was like,
You're so wrong.
It's pre-recorded, so if there's something you don't like, we can always take it out.
That's why I like doing them live.
Yeah, I know. That's why I do mine live. So you gotta be I catch some people say some shit, and afterward they're like, "Hey, can you edit that out?" I'm like, "Oh no, it's live, buddy. I can't change shit. It's out there."
Yep.
Oh hell.
Oh hey boys. Somebody, Tim said, "What are you drinking?" Straight from the bottle.
He's got
Jefferson's Reserve.
Like that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I wasn't drinking, and I drank yesterday, but I wasn't drinking until I did my little joke at the beginning of it. But Jefferson's Reserve's good stuff.
Tim Stedman said, "Nothing beats Duda trying to insert dildos into PCCs."
That's hilarious.
Well, isn't that standard?
If there's anything that I'm going to be known for, that is the least bad thing that I could be known for of all the stuff I've done.
So Bill, you want to hear something funny, Bill? So I was told by a source that there were, after our first podcast together, there were multiple emails sent to USPSA officials regarding our behavior. And their response was, they're paying members, they're not representatives. What do you want me to do? But I just thought that's how you know it was like, you know what I mean? It was perfect.
We did that cartoon where it was the boomer guy running around saying, what it was. He was like fucking kids, and then he was like fucking low ports and fucking field courses, and then he said he fucking loves this sport, and then somebody was like, really? Is this how you want to represent the sport? I'm like, this is how this sport exists. What are you talking about? Oh shit!
I just saw you get a kick out of that, Bill.
Yeah, you know
so
me.
Brian Keita, until you are reported to USPSA,
it will not be the first time.
We set fireworks off at my house for Halloween. Me and my daughter went up on the balcony and had a whole pirate ship thing, and we were shooting fireworks at kids and everything. It was amazing. And one of the neighbors was like, "Aren't you worried that the cops are going to come around?" I was like, "Not really." I was like, "Because when they come around, we'll know that that's the limit of craziness we can do around here."
Yep.
Same
At the
thing.
kid's birthday, we had a whole bunch of kids from her school stay overnight, and we got out bottle rockets and shooting bottle rockets at each other. And we went down to the park by my house, and they have like this enclosed circular slide. And I had this GFI that I was going to shoot bottle rockets down that slide. And it was cool. They were coming out the bottom. But then one of them went like right through the roof, and that hole is still there. This was like 5 years ago at her birthday party.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
But it was
Blowing
fun.
holes in the house.
Why not?
Hey, can we get Robert Mika in here? He should be in your list. R Mika. I don't know how many people you can add to these things, so
I can only have 4.
Okay.
RKS Mika.
I'll jump out because I have to go make some videos.
Keita, thank you so much.
Thanks, Keita, for coming around. Look forward to working for you.
Fun. Later, guys.
Nope.
Yeah.
See you later. Thank you for your service.
I wasn't trying to get you off it. I was going to take it out of you.
Let's see if we can get that guy in here.
All right, Robert Mika, right?
Robert Mika. RSK Mika. If not, we can pull in Trident Armory shooting. Zach Greener.
Okay, we'll do Robert. We'll do Robert Mika, and then we'll pull in the Trident Armory guys because I love those guys.
They're awesome. Awesome.
I just sent Mika a request. So
Let's see if he jumps on.
look at Brian's getting ready. He's finished polishing off the bottle. Hey,
I know.
Oh, it's Kim. See, I remembered your name. Don't run away. Oh, damn it. All right, guys. I want to introduce you to Robert Mika. This is best known as
Micah.
Barbecue. Micah, Mika.
Welcome.
I'm bad with names.
Not much,
This
brother.
guy has the sweetest, juiciest hot meat you've ever had in your mouth.
yeah,
Definitely in your mouth.
So
love it.
we got Brian, and my screen I got Brian Connolly sitting next to Bobby Q. All right. Brian, Bobby wants to be you for barbecue for USPSA, bro. Like, I don't even know how to describe it better. So, Bobby, tell us about your hot meat, bro.
You're so stupid.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, we've been really trying to turn the screws in, man. We've been very busy during the off season. Like, well, this is my busy time of the year right now. The day before Thanksgiving, we cooked almost 50 turkeys, almost 50 hams. We were really busy. But yeah, moving forward, man, with the whole shooting sport thing, we want to be the go-to caterer vendor for everybody up and down the East Coast. That's our goal.
Every time he saw some drama come out at nationals, his face was just like, he's like clawing. He's like, I totally could have fixed that for him.
Yeah.
So Bobby started a few years back. What was it, 2016 or 17?
We actually started as a company in 2014, and I started doing it full-time 2016.
So he brings his smoker, he brings his trailer, and he comes and stays on the range and makes all of his hot barbecue for the match.
Well,
And
that's breakfast.
That's not just it. That's the easy route. See,
I've heard your breakfast burritos are legendary.
we're health
They are.
certified and we're insured. So we show up to a range, and the insurance is huge, man. It's like, you don't want anybody getting sick with food poisoning and then trying to shut the range down because they had some horrible food. We're insured for that. So that's reassurance for the person that's hiring us, and it's reassurance that the shooting sport's not going to take a black eye on that. You know what I mean?
Matt Hempel said he's fat because of you.
That's okay.
It is.
We're looking to put together a shooting team for
You should. He was like 165 pounds, and then Bobby started coming around, and now he's like 220. It's disgusting. That's why he stopped shooting well and started shooting birds. He started hunting because he just couldn't keep up with the guys on the range. But
So what states do you service? Like, what states can you go to?
Well, right now we want to go to anywhere that wants us. My wife and I bought a motorhome, and we are going to travel anywhere we are needed or wanted. And yeah, just like Bill said, we would hopefully, if the range would allow us, to stay on the range so we can operate the smoker and the catering trailer all night long. And yeah, it's
I love it.
all business, man. It's me. I run the business. My wife runs everything else that people don't see. And the USPSA has been awesome for us. It kept us alive during the COVID year. Kept us busy, and that's a really cool thing.
You've done what so far as major matches? Did you do Area 6, or was it just the North Carolina section?
We did Area 6. We did Area 8.
6.
Area 8. We did Delmarva. We've been all the way up to Atalani.
That's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, Delaware.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, West Virginia.
North and south.
Yeah.
Where are you based out of?
The People's Republic of Maryland.
People's Republic of Maryland. So Texas would be a long haul for you.
Bill's hired us before in the past to run Area 8, and I think that was up at Atalani in Pennsylvania. And we'll call ahead, and Bill doesn't need to be involved, or the match director wouldn't need to be involved in it, but we'll pull a health permit from the county, make sure everything is on the legal up and up. Just on the rare occurrence that we would get health inspected, but usually we don't ever. We're in such good standing with the local area. What's going on, Brian?
Bobby, have you had problems getting into matches, or is that something you need assistance with, or is it just trying to find how can we help to get you into more matches? What can we do as a team here?
I want to do almost all of national events. That's my goal, and I don't care where. I really want to grow and expand, and that's we're trying to get into. I heard you mention earlier, Brian, about you're going to be down in Florida. We're going to be trying to contact the people down there for the Florida Open, the second weekend in February. We're doing some events. I'm looking at my calendar right now. The first weekend in February, we're doing some IDPA events, which are local matches.
Hey, Bobby, did you ever pull the trigger on that other thing with that guy that I sent you to? I know I'm being really vague here.
Yeah. You might have to DM me later on that one.
All right. You were looking to set up a couple guys to spread the good word about you.
Yes. No. So what he's talking about is, I believe that you're talking about, we're looking at doing some sponsorships going into next season.
Oh, dude, barbecue sponsor?
Yeah,
that's where I was going. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, what we're looking for, I'm a small business, so I'm looking for right around 5 people that are really good on social media, like a teenage schoolgirl, and got a barbecue, and they're going to want to eat for free every time we're at a match.
Maybe somebody with a large podcast and a lot of followers and
doing the match.
Kind of prolific.
Are you talking about me? Talking about me, right?
Likes to piss off USPSA.
Still sounds like you're talking about me, bro.
Oh my God.
But yeah, we're dabbling into that. We got some good ideas. Bill's helped us out with a couple of really good leads that we're going to finalize everything before the first of the year.
That's incredible, man. How far, is Texas like Oklahoma, Louisiana a little too far for you, or are you down to make those drives depending on how many matches you get to do down here?
It would really depend. No, it's not too far for us to drive. The cost obviously would be a little bit more now. Thank you, to
Brandon.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon. And
I was gonna wear my "Let's Go Brandon" hat, but it would be you wouldn't be able to read it because it'd be backwards.
That's all right. We'd all know the point. But but the whole thing is with the whole motorhome thing is we have it's a diesel pusher. The whole generator system and everything. We specialize in off-grid catering. We don't require any electrical hookups. We don't require any water hookups. We bring everything with us. We come on site. We are completely health, like I said before, health certified, insured caterer that can handle a ton of people. The whole goal is to, I think.
I saw that, Brian.
I saw that too.
Here, I got to go get a drink since we're all drinking. Y'all keep going. Bill, you're in charge, I guess.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's devolve this really quick while he's going. We should talk about something really important. But yeah, so actually, the two of you guys are two of the guys, main guys that got me started up on the idea for next year for what we're doing. So I'm excited about that, and I'm waiting until I get the last guy locked in before I really go on talking about it. But yeah, so you're willing to go all the way out to Texas. Hell, I'm going up to Bangor, Maine twice this year. So yeah, that's going to be a trip.
we got to reach out to them as well. That's Area 2. Yeah, we have that on our calendar. We haven't, reached out to anybody
Area
yet.
7. Bangor
yeah.
is going to be
Yeah,
Area
yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Area 2.
Yeah. Kim keeps hollering at me in my ear. My ADD.
What is she saying about Area 2? We hear it.
What are you saying about Area 2? Bill wants to know.
I'm trying
You
to
really
get
should put her on. That's how we get all the
I know,
tips.
right?
them as spread out as possible. So all of them. I just Area 2 is a pretty nice place. You haven't even looked at. You have to go online.
And our whole goal is to get to the nationals.
Come on, Matt. I got.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm done. I can talk to Matt anytime.
So what we were saying was that, our whole goal is to get into nationals. And, Bill, like you and I worked really hard when we were running Area 8, or you were running Area 8, and we were cooking for you. The whole goal was to get everybody fed quickly, good food, and back out on the range, because your staff is working so hard all day that, it's not cool to have a delay of an hour or two for lunch.
Have you reached out?
People, huh?
Have you reached out to Jake yet with USPSA about nationals in Alabama?
No.
You need to.
Okay.
I mean, that needs to happen immediately, that he knows that there's somebody who's supporting the USPSA is interested, because he is, until we know any different, is still going to be the match director. And he's the one that plans that stuff way in advance, because there's contracts and all kinds of stuff that need to be involved. So you need to send Jake. You got his email, and, feel free to CC me on it, and I'll be glad to follow up as well for references or anybody else. And because, that you need to get on that now. Don't wait, immediately. So
Trevor had to go take a leak, guys. He'll be back. He decided this time not to show everybody his disappointment in his pants. No, so somebody asked about camping with me, but that's funny because between me, what was it? Me, you, and Premier, we were basically setting up a whole mobile home community up on the range for a couple matches this year. Yeah, a whole trailer park going on up there.
In West Virginia. Great.
Who else did we have? Was it just us three? I thought we had somebody else at one point.
Somebody
Oh, it was
dude was all the way across the field, sleeping in the back of his truck. It was weird.
Yeah, I know that guy. Sam Callahan. He was out there. He does the whole ruggedized. He had a hammock going on back there. Everything. I was like, bro, it's brutal out here. If you really need some air conditioning, come on to my camper.
Well, Instagram didn't kick us off while I was gone, so y'all must not have been too bad.
No, we just talked about you the whole time.
Okay, that's
About
cool.
your explosive diarrhea thing that you had going on.
or some disappointment. I can't remember, disappointment or something I said.
Yeah, something like that.
All right then. So we've had. So that's what you got. So what matches do you have locked in for 2022? That's kind of the theme we're shooting here for, is what we're doing in 2022.
It starts in February. I got the IDPA, which is local to Maryland, the first week of February. And then we have Delmarva, Area 8.
We're
trying to get Mid-Atlantic.
Area 6.
We're trying to get the Area 6 finalized. Another IDPA event.
You should just let Kim tell it to us, because we're hearing her before we hear you.
Yeah.
Where you going?
What are you doing?
He's like, no, my hair's not done.
We replaced Keita. We replaced Keita with Bobby. You're really upsetting me here, Kim.
Yeah.
So then we got, the Virginia State match. We're doing a steel match for Kevin McPhee and May.
Is that the Area 8 one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Area 8 Steel Challenge, right?
Yeah,
we'll be there. I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dragons Cup. That might be a good one to get him in. Let me see if I can work. Let me see if I can work on that. Dragons Cup is going to be probably the biggest match of the year.
They do, but I know he has that relationship with that other Italian place they were using before, so that's the only thing I know about, because I went and had dinner there a couple of times.
Yeah, but listen, you know, Marco's all about helping people. So I'll have a
Especially if they're
conversation
supporting the
with him.
sports. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree
I'll have a
with you.
conversation with him this week.
It's bad when I know the food every match I go to. That's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, I do
And
too.
especially when
I have a list in my phone of restaurants I've tried at all the different match areas.
Yes, sir.
And like if
Was it
it's
like
shitty, I put shitty, and then if it's good, I put we'll do again. So I don't forget and go to the same shitty place.
explosive diarrhea the next day. Don't go back.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, moving forward with all these people watching these events that want to complain about stopping for lunch in the middle of a match, just remember that you do have sponsors that are on site that really do appreciate you guys walking through their tents. And that little break that's happening for lunch just isn't about you guys eating. It's about paying back, you know, helping out the sponsors that put that match on. And that's a really cool thing to do.
For me, it was always about the staff. Like, I loved my sponsors, but damn if I didn't want my staff to take a break and stuff their face.
And you did have staff going on too, man. You know what I mean?
Like, if you look after the lunch break, you can make all kinds of wild requests from staff to come check targets, and they're just going to give you an alpha because they don't want to walk all the way to that target. They're waddling with their stomachs full of Bobby's meat.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh shit!
That's
Bobby's meat making the world a better place.
There you go. There you go.
His barbecue sauce. Can you order your barbecue sauce online yet?
I'm sorry?
Can you order your barbecue sauce online?
100%. Just find me on Facebook, Southern Barbecue Catering, and send me
Trevor,
a message.
you need to go grab some. I brought some home from matches, and it's really good stuff, dude. Really
Okay,
good
so
stuff.
I'm gonna do a video. So my dad, multi-time national and world barbecue champion. Like he's a barbecue cooking fiend, right? I will do a video of him taste testing your barbecue and your barbecue sauce, and we'll put it out there because if he says it's good, it's fucking good.
I've had people come up. Some of the best compliments I've ever had were number one from match directors that will, as soon as they announce that we're going to be on site, either selling barbecue or, you know, if the match is covering lunch, as soon as they announce that we'll be there, the match directors have called me in the past and saying that their attendance skyrocket. But one of the biggest compliments I've ever had is when we were doing a match. I think it was just a local monthly match down in Southern Maryland, and this guy came up from North Carolina, and he was like, "Man, I sucked. I think he got disqualified or something, but he stuck around and he had some lunch." And he was like, "Man, I came all the way up there to get kicked out of the match, but I had the best barbecue I've ever had in my life, and I'm from North Carolina." I was like, "Man, that's awesome, man. Go home happy with your belly full."
And you guys can't see it. And you guys can't see it from this angle, and I wouldn't trust it either, but he is not as skinny as his face makes him look. He is a fat barbecue guy.
Yeah.
Well, dude, what we need to do is when you get off here, shoot me a DM with all your info, your website, all that shit. I'm going to blast it out after this, and then I'll put links to under the podcast so people can find it if they want to see it or go find it. But I need to put you in touch with Marco for Dragons Cup, and then we're doing 2 majors out here in Houston that I think are going to be pretty big. I don't know if they've been announced yet. I might have just screwed the pooch on that. But we'll try to get you out here for them because we do not have the food sorted yet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, you know, we made a living supporting the USPSA, and I'm very thankful for that. You know,
maybe Go Fast Don't Suck can make some shirts.
I have a sugar mama, you know.
Sure you do.
Hey man,
you need to stop telling us about your sugar mama. You're making us very jealous.
Hey, I got a sugar mama too, bro. It's the life.
Look, it's the three of you, and I'm the one here stuck going, yeah, I got a date.
3 smart guys and 1 asshole.
Yeah, and 1 sucker. I got it all backwards.
Mel, no, that was aggressive. Mel, you should also look into, I know Mel's on here listening, you should also get him into the Infinity experience.
Man, let me tell you something about Mel. There's video I still haven't put out there yet where he got me shooting for the first time. And Mel,
super jealous.
I've seen a lot of, you know, people do training classes based on videos and stuff, but to experience his training firsthand and how he walks you through every process, every step, every entrance, everything just so detailed. He's looking to take himself to be one of the next great coaches out there in shooting sports, and I think he is well in the lead of getting a lot of things done for that. Yes, he has Infinity to help with that, but even outside Infinity, I got people I've already talked to about getting some classes with him because he is really detailed for any level shooter. It's really good stuff. Really good stuff.
So people don't realize this about Mel, and I do because we kind of did the same thing. But Mel has been an SASP coach, or was an SASP coach for years. And when I started teaching at SASP, Mel guided me through it very like a true champion. But Mel has taught some of the all-time greats in SASP. Some of the baddest champions have come through Mel. So Mel is the real deal when it comes to coaching. So he doesn't, he's too humble to admit it, but he's an amazing coach. And I think if he really dedicated some time to it, he doesn't need to teach, which is why I think he only does it for fun. But if he really got into it, I think he'd be a big one.
Well, I look forward to talking to him on Hunters HD Go Behind the Lens as well, because I want to know, a lot of stuff about Mel. So I'm excited to hope to get that out there for everybody to hear soon. So,
yeah, SASP is Scholastic Action Shooting Sports. For those who asked.
And also, real quick on the barbecue, are you wanting to stick with just USPSA, or you want to go with other disciplines?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay, you need to email me, and I will set you up with other organizers that own other disciplines of shooting to get that done, because there's places you can go, and that is not, I got solutions. Just email me. So
somebody,
please.
Yeah,
all
we
right.
need
hey, Brian,
maybe the Gundies. Maybe the Gundies. We add you to that.
The Gundies. Yeah.
Have you go out and do the Gundies, man, for real. That thing's huge. It started as a kind of a joke and just took off.
Well, yeah, you get the entire major part of the shooting sport involved in it.
Yeah.
So, all right, Bobby, it was awesome seeing you and having you on here, buddy.
Right, man. I appreciate
Bobby,
it.
don't forget to send us all your info.
I absolutely will.
Please.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Man.
Bye.
We need to get Trident on here next.
Yeah, Trident Armory. Let me get him in here. Those guys are awesome, man. I met them.
Zach Greener.
Zach Greener, yeah. I met them a while back, and they're good peeps.
I'm going to drop – do you need me on here? I'm going to drop off myself, get some more work done. I'm going to continue watching, so if you need me to come back on, I will.
No, yeah. We'll just pop you in and out as we need you.
Yes, if you need me, just call me back.
All right, love your face.
Right, thanks, guys.
See you, Brian.
I love your face.
Zach, what's up,
gentlemen?
man?
What is up, Zach?
How's everything going?
It's going pretty terribly. There.
I've seen the whole
ends of
thing.
the spectrum.
I can't grow my beard as thick as you, bro. Is it a main thing? I mean, is it? What is it? Is it like it has to reach a certain low temperature
thing?
It's a
temperature thing. They've
It's a
seen Mark,
temperature.
the other guy.
That's
Mark
security
puts me
against
in
freezing to
every
death,
day.
right?
Right.
See, I live in Texas, which is why you see these little
saw
patches
that.
here.
Yeah.
He's
got
got
buddy.
a little thin mustache.
So bad.
Going, yeah.
I just cleaned up the mustache, made it look like shorter. It's like short, but look, see, it's short, and then it fades into the long. Bob.
All right, stop. I can only get so erect. Let's talk to Zach.
And I've got Chris is on here as well. I think Mark's on here too. If you want to follow him in.
Yeah, how do I pop them in here? What's their Instagram? Who should I add? Because I only can add one more person, so you got to pick your favorite.
Oh, let's go with Chris Austin.
Chris Austin.
Everybody else is not his favorite.
Everybody else sucks.
Sorry, dude.
Fucking losers. Thanks for playing.
Oh, hell.
Hey,
well, so Zach, last year, tell us about what happened this year for Trident, what you guys are planning for next year.
Mark already saw the my comment. So we've been hosting. This is our third annual. We just got off, finished in July of this year. So we have been doing this the last 3 years, and we raise money for main nonprofit organizations supporting our veterans. We kind of threw our first year in about 3 months worth of organization, and able to raise about $9,000 for Windy Warrior Project. Built off from that momentum, and went to our second annual match last year, We raised $17,000 for House in the Woods. And this year, I raised $52,000 for 2 nonprofit organizations. So it is just continued to blossom. It's been pretty crazy.
That's
so,
ridiculous.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah. So to date, we're at $78,000 we've raised for Maine veterans, and it's just going to continue to blow up.
That's insane.
That's amazing.
Hey,
I'm looking forward to next year's.
Real
No,
quick,
you guys have
it's
been a
not
huge
letting
support.
Chris Austin join. So who's the other guy? Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Who was your second favorite?
Should be the Marky Mark D, right?
Mark D. Yep, you got it.
Yeah.
He's going to put my beard to
another
shame,
glorious
so-
beard, dude. When I saw this
it's gonna
guy's
be
beard in
brutal.
person, I got so moist.
He gets that a lot, I guess. I don't know.
It's now the real beard's here.
See, look at that!
Holy
man.
shit!
God.
Oh, what the fuck! I give
Oh,
up.
I think I'm
I don't
pregnant.
even.
I'm pretty sure I'm
It's
pregnant.
brutal.
That is-
I had a moment, Mark, and then you came on.
Jesus. My
I'm
God.
getting all the comments.
We were so impressed by what now is apparently a wimp ass beard.
I feel like I have to go. I feel like I have to go put on what are those things that the Afghan women wear, the burqas.
Yeah, burqa.
Yeah, I feel like I need to go put a
Hijab?
burqa on. Or hijab. Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Oh, what's going on?
Mark, I'm supposed to be
Oh.
landing airplanes tonight.
Should be. It's Bangor.
Yeah. Now he's on Instagram instead.
Autopilot.
So
take a
what
break
you
from
guys
one time.
do, is pretty cool. And I met you guys at what match was it that I met? Was it Area 1?
No, it was Nationals.
Oh, it was Nationals. Yeah, it was
That was
Nationals. I met you
Yep.
guys, dude. I heard about what you guys do through Atlas, right? And I didn't get to make y'all's match just because of some personal scheduling conflicts. But when I heard what you guys do, man, that is just incredible, and
Appreciate it.
it's only getting bigger. So for those of you who don't know, these guys have raised a lot of money for different veteran organizations. And do y'all have a website that they can go and just donate, right?
So we just have Facebook and Instagram at Trident Armory Shooting Team. Most of the raffles and things that we do to raise money leading up to the event directly through Facebook and Instagram. So there's not actually a website that's up and running quite yet. Atlas, we teamed up with Atlas last year, and they were phenomenal, just allowing us to crush our goal. Our initial goal, we came out at $25,000. They put that to shame by raising $16,200 all by themselves. It was absolutely incredible. So Adam and the entire Atlas crew, I think there's 11, 12 of them that came up here, stayed at the hotel, and it was phenomenal. Yeah, $16,000 they were able to raise.
That was the one match I was highly upset I had to miss. Like
You'll have to
highly
get
upset.
here this year.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Good.
That one, I don't
Good.
care if Nationals conflicts with it. I'm going to be at that one.
We appreciate it.
But I remember when Atlas and y'all decided to do something, right? I remember our messenger group went nuts. Like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what these guys do. Blast it out, and everybody was like, "This is fucking cool." So I'm excited to see what happens this upcoming year. I think maybe 100K.
I don't know. It's hard to set a goal because you don't want to set something that's necessarily too high and then come up short. But yeah, I mean, to go from 17,000 to 52,000 in 1 year, like I have no idea what this year's going to bring, but shouldn't be anything to blow $50,000 out of the water again. And,
It's going to be amazing. So we're going to be there as Go Fast Don't Suck again this year, but I'm bringing the whole Jack Shack up and everything. So we're gonna like I've been trying to do some stuff. So next year I've got a little bit of experience under my belt for it. So I think next year we'll be able to do some more stuff from the match. So as far as like trying to get more people to participate in your auctions and stuff, I think we might be able to make that happen. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys when I get up there. So
I get to
make
Wi-Fi here.
I get to make 2 trips up there this year with my trailer. So between Trident and Area 7, so it'll be a trip.
We're in Area 7 this year.
Yeah.
How's that going to work out? Did you guys fix up them berms?
So yeah, we are planning to put in another 3 berms into the range. So hopefully 3. So off to the left-hand side of the range, we'll put in another 3 over there. And that will give us a total.
Behind the shed. What do you call it? I forget the damn name.
Clubhouse.
Yeah, just if you're looking
Yeah,
right
the
at
clubhouse.
The clubhouse, it'll be off the left-hand side. We had 4 bays over there. We're going to add another 3, and then we built another 4 downrange of our rifle range. We'll have a total of 11 bays there.
How's that hurting you guys for lumber for all the walls that had to go up with all that?
So we've been pretty fortunate. Handy Rifle and Pistol Club have been phenomenal at supporting us right from the start of this, just from the get-go. I mean, it's kind of an idea we threw together just in a few months, and just to see it blossom like this. So they've supported us right through everything to be able to purchase everything we need for walls and barrels and all the supplies to make the match happen. So
Nice.
Incredibly grateful for what they've
How are y'all
done.
doing on steel?
So we are sponsored by Targets USA. Jason
Okay.
actually flew out from Alaska last year. He was instrumental with getting everything together for us.
Yeah.
I think at one point he was riding and running a bulldozer for us and building berms the day before we had the match. So we got everything put together right on time. So
Hell yeah.
Jason's been a huge help with steel and everything else from Targets USA. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that guy's
That's
awesome.
phenomenal. Yep.
That was going to be my question.
That was it. That was your whole question.
Right.
I know
somebody. I can help.
I know somebody that'd be willing to come down.
Right.
But dude, so the auctions that y'all do leading up, y'all just take so how does that work? Do y'all need donations to be put into the auctions, or how are y'all doing that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll we take a lot of donations from. Can't tell you how many companies, both locally and nationally, have been able to help us out and donate items right from the start. Most of the stuff we will then raffle off. Usually $20 raffle tickets, selling 100 of them to a time. So we've raffled off, firearms donated from Springfield Armory and SIG. Dylan's
Outboard
donated,
motors.
Outboard motors. Dylan's donated presses.
I say we get a bag of Bill's chest hair. Auction that off.
We might have to cut the price, but we can make that happen.
Oh, he doesn't have chest hair. Okay, ball hair.
Yeah.
Ball hair. It's fine.
They are very family oriented up there.
Right,
No, it's fine. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, we need to get together and see if we can put together like a new shooter pack, maybe like a belt and holster setup, some mags, some different stuff. And then Bill, are you doing any Trident Armory shirts?
Oh, I'm going to be
These
there.
guys right here.
We're doing all kinds of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Because I was gonna say, I could throw a bunch of. I got a lot of Bangin Brass merch coming out, but if Bill's gonna be out there with the shirts, I'm not stepping on his toes.
No, bring it out.
It's
It's all a
That's
different
my
flavor.
baby girl. Yeah,
It's all a different flavor, bro. I want everybody that wants to participate to
Bill
participate.
Bill doesn't love me enough to do my shirts for me. So,
Ouch.
Look, I only have so much body hair to rub all over your shirts. I can't push your merchandise like that.
But yeah, dude, I'm excited to see where it ends up this year, because last year when it happened, obviously Atlas was there, and when Atlas is at an event, I get a shit ton of DMs about how people enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it, and I got some really good feedback. They were like, that place was awesome. Those guys are dope. We can't wait for next year. And then the buzz around it is growing. So I'm excited to see where it ends up. I think it's going to quickly turn into one of the biggest matches of the season. I say probably by year, because this will be year 3 y'all are doing it, or year 2?
4.
This will be year 4 coming up.
Year 4. Okay.
Yep.
I say
the main state championship too.
I say year 5 you hit like 400 to 500 competitors.
Be crazy.
That would be
We'd
awesome.
love to see it blow up like this. Yeah. No, just the overwhelming support that we've gotten from all these different businesses donating their merchandise, and the volunteers, and putting everything on the ground. It's been pretty cool to see it from day one, just to see where it's at now. So.
Have y'all ever hooked up with the Black Rifle guys?
Oh yeah, they've sponsored us from day one. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Hell yeah. I was actually just there. What was it? Over this weekend. This weekend? Yeah, this weekend. I was just up there. Those guys are fucking nut jobs. But they're so cool.
Well, and their stages were top notch when we were up there shooting it too. I brought back a few stages to set up at our local match to do for. So I try to bring back stages from major matches that are good, that challenge me. to bring it back to these guys so they can get a feel for what going to a decent match feels like, outside of the local stuff. So
that was going to be my next question: is who designed y'all's stages?
It's actually the three of us that designed it. So myself, Mark, and then Chris.
Because I saw the videos and I was like, that made me really jealous. Because I went to some matches where the stages were, I'll say subpar.
Okay.
Those stages look good, dude.
Yeah, they were fun. We tried to have a good balance between some short, medium, and long courses. So we really focused on making sure there was not just a single way to be able to shoot each stage, and you had multiple different options, and all the options were definitely viable to be able to be competitive on that stage. We had one the Targets USA stage was sponsored by Targets USA. People
no,
loved it.
I don't like
Hated
roller
it. I
coasters.
thought it was wonderful. So we had the Wheel of Misfortune out there. We had a Holy Monkey. We had the Rhino Knockdowns. We pretty much had everything that Targets USA had to offer in like this short little bay. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, that stage looked,
no roller coasters though.
That stage looked fun. Yeah, no roller coasters. That's kind of disappointing, eh?
Yeah, no live music either. So
no roller coasters. No roller coasters that had to be shimmed on the last day.
Figure something out.
Oh man, yeah. No, I'm excited, man. I think what y'all do is badass. And again, dude. Like I said, I'm so excited for next year.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Hopefully, teaming up with Atlas
awesome.
again. They were pretty excited for year one and hopefully coming back this upcoming year too. So we loved having them out here. Huge support.
Yeah, you guys are going to be good for Atlas for this year. That I already know about. Yeah,
for sure.
You're good there.
Yep.
I think that's going to be a long relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mark and I and Chris were talking about loving to have Atlas be the title sponsor for the match too. So haven't got a chance to talk with Adam about that, but for everything they've done to support us, they've raised I think over $30,000 for the Memorial 3 gun too, $16,000 for us last year. Like the least that we could do. We'd love to have them be involved.
I can almost guarantee that'll be okay.
Yep.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Please no.
But yeah, Mark's good people, man. Mark's good people. He's easy to work with, really.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Great.
Trevor needs a trophy backdrop wall. I know I do.
What'd you say?
I was just saying we are taking applications right now. So if you are a nonprofit organization based in Maine supporting veterans, you qualify for it. So we'll be taking applications until December 23rd, and then we'll make our selection on January 1st for our nonprofit beneficiary. The match is scheduled July 22nd through 24th of next year, and that'll be right at Hand Rifle and Pistol Club. Super easy to get into. Bangor National Airway, actually where Mark is right now, I believe. About 10 minutes from the range, so super convenient, easy to get in and out.
Real safe airport. The guy with the beard that runs the place really knows what he's doing and pays attention to everything that's going
super
on.
Super focused, yeah.
So just to give you an idea,
I'm okay.
Just to give you an idea of how much I want to shoot that match and how committed I am to be there, that's my wife's birthday weekend. So,
hey babe, I want to take you to Bangor for your birthday.
No.
Harbor. Yeah.
I will be there, baby.
Like it.
Hashtag commitment. We've been together 11 years. What's she gonna do? Leave me?
She's committed at this point. She hasn't left, right? She's all in. Yep.
Yeah, she makes more money than me anyway, so she'd have to pay me alimony. So, let's be real here.
Not going anywhere.
No, a second ago, Leighton said I need a trophy backdrop wall like Bill does. And then
that's not even my trophy wall. That's just my lovely wall.
Yeah, many things said I need a lower power factor.
Oh hell.
No, but dude, y'all kick ass, man.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, send me. So the main page for the IG is the Trident Armory one, right?
Yeah,
and then
that's true. Yep.
Okay. When we get on, I'm gonna throw the links in the podcast description so people can find it. But yeah, that's pretty neat, man. And I'm excited to see how far this thing goes. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Pretty damn cool.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to coming up there, guys.
Have y'all thought about doing some on-site auctions, like some silent auctions or do y'all already do that?
No, that's already done.
Yeah.
It's already a thing.
Silent auctions right there. We had over $15,000 worth of product available last year up for grabs, so it went pretty well. I think SIG donated, or I know SIG donated 4 firearms to it. So those were
They added 3 for us last year.
yeah. So those are raffled off throughout the year. And yeah, it goes pretty well. So on our Facebook and our Instagram, that's where we'll post each raffle. We're trying to do about 1 a month or so just to keep people interested and keep the momentum going. So hopefully be able to continue with that.
And y'all do them on site as well as before the match?
We do.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are the dates
people-
of the match for 2022?
Yeah.
July
22nd
through 24th.
Yep.
There you go. So it's real nice because July in Texas will suck, but July in Maine was going to be awesome.
Beautiful here. Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll be coming from Texas up there. I'm like, woo!
He's going to have on his little sweater.
Dude. All right, so when we went up to Area 2, it was like 55 degrees in the morning, and I'm sitting there like, and everybody's wearing shorts and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost one. And
Mark's gone. He probably
and I
go
was
back
like,
to work.
yeah, and I was like, how are you guys doing this? And they're like, what are you talking about? This is like summer weather. I'm like, where are you from? This is fucking freezing.
Yeah. Yeah, we shot today. It was 26 degrees out, snow on the ground.
Ooh, hard pass.
Yeah, it was a little brutal. But we have the Frozen Chosen's the first on January 1st, actually the first USPSA match held in the country. So rain or shine, we've shot with ambient temperature 20 below before. Makes it fun. Slows down the trigger finger just a little bit.
Yeah, bro.
It slows down everything.
Yeah, it does.
Listen, the only time I'm going to be shooting in that type of weather is if we hit some type of like global snow apocalypse and I have to fight for my life. Okay, but I'm not traveling anywhere to shoot a match where it is anywhere close to that type of temperature.
Yeah,
dude, that temperature will be the only match that I have a lost brass revolver match because I just won't pick the shit up.
Leave it there.
Yeah. Leave the clips and all, moon clips and all.
Everything, fuck it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
Yeah, I'm a hard pass on that shit.
Oh man.
But how do people donate product? Do we just get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can email us directly. It's Trident Armory Shooting Team at gmail.com. Message us through Facebook or on Instagram, and we're happy to team up with you and get you some more information.
Can I just send you a tasteful nude?
At least 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, 2 is the minimum.
2.
No, yeah.
One from each angle.
For everybody listening, if you know people or companies that want to get involved, spread the word because it's going towards a great cause, and these guys do a lot. They don't have to do it. It's not, it's not like it's something that they have to do. They do it out of the kindness of their heart. So they're doing something that none of us are good enough to do. So just be a decent human being and spread the word.
No, it's cool to be able to combine the shooting sports and be able to give back to the veterans. It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My way of appearing like I might be a decent human being is associating myself with the like of you guys. So
yeah.
Okay. All right, you can take it back.
That's the only way that's the only way me and Bill don't end up like total shitbags.
It's not who I am, it's who I'm friends with.
Exactly.
Oh,
but super awesome, man. Super awesome. I got a lot of ideas. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be massive.
Oh, can't wait. So, yeah, we'll start posting stuff just on both of our pages, and we'll get the word out. And hopefully, get more people there.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime you got a raffle or anything you're doing or anything involved, tag us. We'll repost it, man, for sure. Yeah. I know I will. I'm gonna speak for Bill too. Bill will too.
Yeah, I need to start doing stuff like that anyway.
Yeah. Stop with all the dick jokes and
No. I'm still doing the dick jokes.
Okay,
it's just I just need to do a better job of the other things. No.
Yeah.
Can't get away from my base. My base loves the dick jokes.
Oh yeah. Customer base is built on dick jokes.
There you go. Just like when I was in the Army. I love it. Oh, what the hell? All right. What else were we going to talk about? 2022.
Well, I'll leave you gentlemen to it. Really appreciate you guys having us on here, and look forward to seeing you guys in May next year.
Dude, we're so excited. And thank you for coming on here, man. It's an honor to get to. It's an honor to get to have guys like you who actually, like, a lot of people do shit, but they do shit for themselves. You know what I mean? It's an honor to get to have some guys on here that do stuff for the good of other people. So it's a nice change of pace.
Means a lot. We'll continue to keep working hard, and can't wait to see what this year brings.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Keep crushing it. We appreciate
Kick
you.
ass, Zach. I'll see
All
you.
right, guys. We'll talk soon.
Later, brother. So who you want to bring in here next? You want to bring in Leighton? He's on here.
Leighton? I don't. Yeah, sure. I don't
know. I don't know if Leighton will do
I don't know that he'll join us.
I don't think he will either. He may.
So did you watch any of the interviews I did? Well, the Q&A sessions I did with these guys.
I did. I watched all of them.
Potential guys.
I did.
So USPSA just started up their own podcast. Have you heard their podcast?
I have. I knew about it before it was released.
About the USPSA podcast or the DNRY podcast?
The USPSA podcast. I had a little hint at Area 2 that it might be coming. I just didn't know it had come out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's out. I mean, they did their first episode. And
USPSA.org/podcast.
Yes.
I think.
You want me to give my opinion first, or you go first?
No, go for it. Tell me what you think.
I think that the idea and everything is awesome. That they're going to kind of bridge the gap between the members and what you read on the board minutes. And I also think that it'd be a good way to broaden their reach into everything. For the first one,
I don't know. Not the way they were playing it, though. I don't think they're going to be able to use that as a marketing thing because they're not doing it as a marketing thing.
No. They're not. I'm not saying use it as a marketing thing, but I'm saying get people. People are going to know more about who these guys are and what they actually do, right?
Right. So what you got
That's
going on
what I'm
right
talking
now?
About.
What you got going on right now is people like us or people like other people get on and talk about.
We got Leighton.
Leighton.
Golly, he's always G'd up. Look at him wearing a nice shirt and shit.
Look at him chilling out, in the dark. What is he wearing?
Is it dark?
It's dark.
No, I'm hiding away from my family because they're like, what the heck are you doing more USPSA for? Again. Because I'm engaging my friends on Instagram that are posting stuff.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Leighton is the Area 2 director and also one of my favorite people.
Leighton, how could you not like that accent?
Dude, honestly, if I was a chick, I'm telling you right now, that accent does it for me so hard.
Don't let him fool you.
I'm not going to get baited into that conversation.
He's a full-blown dude, and he would totally sit on your face right now.
Don't 100%. 100%. Let's be real here. Anyway, we'll keep it on the rails. Yeah, no, Leighton, you were fine. We just need to hear you. And, although that shirt is nice. So Leighton,
this is my new image, and this is like Area 2, Jim Adame, the co-match director at Area 2. He had this shirt made for me because I was complaining one day that people don't recognize who I am. And so my staff,
got all your credentials.
Because I was working when we were working the CRO stage, when I was CROing the one stage, my staff shirt had. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it.
We can't see it.
And Area 2 direct on it.
That's pretty awesome.
Cool. But like I say to people all the time, like those who say that you can't ever talk to me, it's like normally the opposite. So you can't get to shut up. So that might not be good for your podcast. But anyway, this podcast it was very interesting. Unfortunately I couldn't jump in earlier. I was actually on the phone to another editor director, but I got your notifications, and that was good because that made me jump on.
Well, the good news is it's available on all podcast forums and YouTube after this, so you can go back and catch up because there was some cool shit in the beginning.
And hey, Bill, sorry, my bad.
It's a good. Yeah, I know. Okay, fair enough.
Hey, I love the wall, even though it's not a trophy wall per se. It looks like pictures or something, but it still looks pretty cool.
It is. It's family pictures and pictures of things we've done together. My trophy wall is on the other side. But
yeah.
So I was saying is the USPSA podcast they did was more like a bridge between what you guys were saying, like the minutes and what is kind of really going on. So that was kind of like where I was going. So it was cool to see it already, being handled. But I've got some guys I'm lining up now to talk to, because we did the Q&A with the what potential presidential candidates. It's like it's so iffy right now.
You mean
Right?
the ones
Like,
that,
like, what-
you mean the ones that have actually
19
said
of
they're
them?
going to be a candidate? Because, you know, there's a little discussion about that.
yeah, there may or may not actually be a candidate, because they may or may not actually be allowed to be a candidate. So who the hell knows what the hell's going on?
Nobody does.
No, it's awesome.
Leighton does.
No, it's terrible. Leighton doesn't know either. They're all still talking it over and voting.
Well,
But-
the last time I checked, there was 16, I think, people on the list.
Well, there were 6 people. Yeah, and I could only get 4 to talk to me. Well,
Yeah.
I got 2 others that would talk to me, but one of them said, "There's no way I would ever run unless USPSA really got out of hand." And there was another one that says, "I'm waiting to see what the role is going to be before I actually drop my application." So,
You
and
mean
that
how much
person was
they're gonna
already
get
getting
paid?
signatures.
Can I say that?
No,
What'd you say?
You can't say
Or how
that.
much they're going to get paid?
They're going to get 60 grand, and they're going to be happy with their 60 grand.
Listen, it's going to go
or
back
give
to
me-
a part-time gig, and nobody's going to want to do it. Just like it was before. Everybody. So here was the thing: when the president thing came up, right, and everybody found out what the salary was and all this other bullshit, you had people coming out of the woodwork like, "Oh, I would do. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do." And
Handy's in the parking lot.
Yeah. As soon as it was like, "Hey, that's not a thing anymore," it's fucking crickets.
Crickets. Or shooting up range. There was one of those 2 things was going on.
Leighton, we kind of lost you, buddy. You got to get that Wi-Fi. That desert Wi-Fi ain't working. Yeah, we lost them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it changed real quick. But so the podcast, I think, honestly, there we go. We got it back.
Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, I was saying that as soon as it was announced that the president's role was going to change, all those people who came out of the woodwork, fucking crickets. They were like, "Oh, I'm not going to get paid $100 and some odd $1,000 a year. Oh man, Like,
so you know that's interesting, and I mean, first of all, there's no drama. USPSA is not in trouble. The board is not like rewriting everything in the bylaws. I mean, this thing, you know, you kind of always sit in these meetings and we say, well, like, let's talk about this RO thing, which I gather from what you hinted at just now, it might be that there's a presidential candidate saying that he can't run because he's not a qualified CRO or an RO, right? And if you look at Matt Hopkins hasn't been an RO since 2013 or something like that. And I'm not saying that's necessarily bad, but don't you guys think, as people in the sport, that the people that are running and administrating and making decisions and coming up with guidelines and all those things, don't you think they should at least be a minimum RO?
What are you talking about, Leighton? Absolutely not. It's not been that way for the entirety of USPSA. Why should we change it now? Why dare you make it better, sir?
How dare you?
Why dare you make it better?
Yes.
That's
Short answer.
ridiculous.
Yes. I'm not an RO. You know.
So
I'm selfish.
The
I don't want to be
breaking
an
up a
RO.
little bit. So you said yes?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think that they should be.
Idea.
Yeah, they should be ROs. Like, I'm not an RO, and I'm not an RO because out of my own selfishness, I want to enjoy the sport. You know.
So,
also,
you know,
the same reason I wouldn't be the president or an area director.
You know all those bad things we say about people? We're like, "Oh, this guy only comes out to shoot. He doesn't even help break down."
No, I have bullshit. I always help break down. I actually stay at major. If I know I'm staying the next day, I usually, even at majors, I'll help tear down.
So so going back to that thing of how do you, like, if I hire, okay, let's talk about business, okay, because I have a little experience in the business world, right?
Do you?
Just a touch. and it would be the equivalent of me hiring a general manager or a supervisor that doesn't have any idea of the area or the expertise or the product that they're going to be supervising. Now, I know it can be done. I've had people that I have brought in, but the learning curve for those people is huge. It takes them months before they get up to speed. So if you had an area director come in, and we'll come back to the president thing in a second, if you had an area director or person run for area director that has never run a stage, never run a match, and I'm not saying run a match from a RM or from a match director point of view. I think that is probably a little bit more further up the food chain kind of thing. But, you know, until you've actually run a stage, and I remember Foley saying this to me way back in the beginning, except that he'd forgotten I actually had been a range officer before that. But when he thought I wasn't a range officer, he said that to me, and I'm like, you're absolutely right, because you have to have some knowledge of what it feels like when you guys come around, the super squad guys, when the big boys come around and run a stage. For a lot of ROs, that's intimidating for those guys. And it's hard for them sometimes to make pushy calls or difficult calls or double calls. I mean, I can point out the GMs and the big boys that call for doubles every single time they ever miss on a target. Well, is that cheating? Well, if you can browbeat an RO that's not super experienced into that, then that is cheating, in my opinion.
I've seen it so many times.
Of course we have. We've all seen it. I mean, it's ridiculous to think otherwise. I have friends that do that, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think there has to be a standard of knowledge before you can be a high-level person. Imagine appointing a club president to run a club, and the guy has basically become a member or like 3 days before that, or a month before that, or 2 months before that. Nobody would do that. Nobody would put a person in a position that wasn't qualified for that. Or how about a club secretary or a club financial person? You know, one of the, you know, that doesn't know anything about accounting.
Leighton, you seem like you have a lot of anger in you. Are you okay?
I'm awesome.
This isn't your only avenue for release, is it? Like, are you going to the gym because?
Have you seen Leighton's wife? This is not his only avenue. Leighton's a pimp.
Good point. You actually, and you know what? It's one of the things, like, literally this week I said, like, I'm not going to engage a lot of this stuff online anymore because I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to bait us into conversation, 100%. Right? I mean, we're not idiots here. It's not like I don't know that. And for the most part, I look upon it like, if you ask me a question, I want to be able to answer the question. If you come at me with a dumb question, or your question is designed to create havoc or drama or whatever, then chances are I'm going to respond the same way. Now, is that, I probably can't say that, but is that an appropriate response? Probably not. And sometimes it's hard, but, you know, we're passionate about what we do. So when people say I'm an idiot or I'm unethical or whatever, I mean, the one thing you could accuse me of being an asshole. That's fine. I could accept that. But saying I'm unethical because I'm doing something, that's absolutely ridiculous. Because anyone that knows anything about me knows that that's
Leighton is one of the most ethically sound area directors I've ever met, and I know all the area directors, and I have from experience the fact that Leighton is one of the most ethically sound ROs or area directors from personal experience. So
and ROs. I mean, I've had that argument.
Yeah. So and here's the thing. I have a simple, because I get so many DMs. I get tagged in because all this drama going on. I guess because, you know, I have. You're
not the only one, dude. You're not the only one.
You know, some stuff happened a little bit ago. I get tagged in all this shit, and I try to tell people, hey, they ask me what my opinion is, and I tell them, like, hey, here's the thing, put your money where your mouth is. If you really feel that way, and you really, okay, then be an area director.
Please be an area director.
Be a section coordinator. Just go get involved. You know,
right.
If you, all these people whining and crying, if you got a problem with it and you want to see a change, go fucking change it.
Well, I don't think that's the only way to do
online.
It. So first off, going back to the USPSA podcast, I was concerned that it was going to sound like propaganda, and it didn't. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to the USPSA podcast,
go listen to it.
Go listen to it. It's not. It's actually them trying to be what everybody's been asking them to be. So they're doing their best with it. So go give it a listen and then make an opinion about it. I thought it was going to be propaganda, so I'm glad it wasn't.
It was really good. Yeah.
It was good. I'm trying to actually, because I carried on with the people being president, I'm actually doing something similar where I'm not a USPSA member or board member. So I'm also asking these guys to come on.
You're not a USPSA member? Hold on.
No. I'm a life member. I'm not a board member.
Okay.
Board member.
Matt said some of us just did that.
What?
I was saying, if you got a problem, go get involved. And Matt said, Some of us just did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. And good
He
for him
did.
for
That's
doing
how.
that.
That's how it's supposed to be done.
I think that's the right
But
way.
that's not,
And you
that's
know,
not your only way. Like
It's not.
if you talk
I'm
to
gonna
if
take
you
y'all
talk
with
to
me to
some
go
of
make a
these,
drink. So
oh Jesus, I thought you were going to the bathroom again.
I'll take a
So
no.
a lot of these people like whine and complain to their local boys, right? Their local squad, and they'll bitch and whine, but they won't actually bother to send the message or talk to their area director or even their section coordinator for that matter. Even if they know who their fucking section coordinator is. Like seriously, guys, if you feel strongly about something, let's start talking to these guys that are in charge and see if you can either convince them to see your side of light or have you and your buddies go and tell them that this is the way it should be. But we're not exercising our what we're supposed to be and then complaining about it. That's just the wrong way to do it. So
it's not
and you
the
know,
only
Bill,
way.
I want to add something to that. When we talk, when people come up to us, and we've all had this, when somebody comes up to you at a match and says, "Oh, that stage sucks because there was, you shot for 2 positions and there was wide open targets." I always tell them, like, okay, well, you know what? Next Saturday there's another match. Why don't you come and I'll give you 2 stages, or the match director can give you 2 stages and build your own stage. And my point to what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be drama. It doesn't have to be argumentative. It doesn't have to be bitching. It's like, you want to come build a stage? Feel free, come build a stage. I doubt there's any match out there that will turn down people that want to come to build stages. So
I want you to.
It's not even like, and my problem with this whole thing is like, there's people out there that'll like tackle me, like, I don't know, whether they think if they write me a mean word or something like that, it's going to chase me away. That's not who I am anyway. But at the same time, I don't want to engage in a hostile way. So when you joked earlier on about that, you're absolutely right. And I genuinely don't want to be that guy. I keep saying I don't want to be like Mike, but I don't want to become argumentative. I want to say, okay, you want to change this? Then give me a proposal, throw it out there. Give me a pick. I mean, this whole thing about power factor, and I know that Trevor is one of the people that has asked about the power factor. I think it's a great discussion. Where should we go with power factor? Should we make it 140, or should we keep it at 165, or keep it
145?
145. Sorry, 145.
That plus P plus will make 150 to 152 out of most guns, and that gives you a little cushion.
Okay, so let's use that as a point, and this is really applicable to other discussions as well. So, at what point do we say, okay, let's change it to 145, or at what point do we say, let's leave it the way it is? Is it based on straight numbers, or is it straight argument, or is it the division people that are shooting those divisions? I mean, who gets to make that decision?
I think that the board makes that decision, but here's the thing.
It's not about thinking. The board does make that decision.
Yeah, but here's what, and we had this discussion. Here's what people aren't taking to it. I'm not saying you, but here's what people aren't thinking when I say lower power factor, right? How many people would love to get into open, but with what maybe they can afford the gun, but they can't afford the press and all the other shit. How many people would love to just go buy, because you can go buy an open gun for like $3,500. Really, in reality, you can, right? But a press is going to cost you a minimum of $2,000 for the most part.
Yeah, at least. So
that's double. Oh, that's a big investment. How many people would love to be able to go shoot open nats because they maybe have an open gun, but now they can go, and Federal has a booth set up where they're selling plus P plus ammo at Nationals, and you can go right there. You can buy the ammo, and you can shoot open nats. Or an area match, you can do the same thing. Or people who want to just maybe not fuck with reloading. I hate reloading. I'm about to throw that son of a bitch in the trash, right? I wish I could go buy plus P plus, because if I could, I'd go buy plus P plus or plus P, and I'd shoot it all day long. But it gets ammo sponsors involved. Now it also grows certain divisions, right? How cool would it be if you could get more people shooting open or more people shooting limited major, but they were able to shoot plus P out of a 9mm 2011, and they had the I mean, there's ways it benefits, but it's also the safety factor, because we had this discussion. What happens when someone blows their fucking hand off at one of these majors because they didn't load properly because they were just getting into open? I mean, in this climate, does USPSA really think they're going to win a case regarding that in open court? Fuck no. They're going to lose 10 times out of 10. So now we have a thing where we're having to make ammo over SAMI spec in order to shoot a certain division.
I don't know, dude.
Well,
I think
you could have also stuck to Super Comp instead of 9.
I'm going to disagree with
38
you,
Super Comp is on the edge of Sammy Spec, so it's still
right, but it's not 9 major, is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
you're right.
All right, Trevor, I'm going to disagree with you about the power factor thing. And mainly I'm going to disagree with you about the power factor thing because you're acting like it's not possible to have somebody else make your ammo. And I don't even mean having like a buddy make your ammo. You can go to some of these, there's companies out there, I'm thinking like Supervel off the top of my head, but you can go to these companies.
Does not make 9 major.
They don't make their argument, but there's other companies that you
no
can
companies are making 9 major right now besides Black Dot and
no companies
I don't even think Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta's doing it, and overseas they're making it. But there's only like 1 or 2 companies that are making 9 major right now. So no, you can't.
Is that because it's too dangerous?
Mm-hmm. Ely's been trying to release 9 major for like a year and a half, but they're running into legal trouble with it. How are they gonna release 9 major if it's over Sammy Spec? They can't.
So if this was a gun that was dangerous, what would we say? Can't shoot the gun.
Can't shoot the gun.
So maybe you should say you can't shoot that ammo.
I'm
not saying that, just for the record. I'm not saying that. Make sure everybody heard that. Do I need to write that in a comment? Like I did not say that.
No, you're
bring it out there.
But if there was a way to make that gun safe, wouldn't you just make it safe?
Well, there's a way to make the power factor safe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Drop it to 145 and it's perfectly safe.
So I would support, from my point of view, I would support going to 160. I know that's not what you want to hear, but I could get with that. And it has nothing to do with IPSC being 160 before anybody blows me up over my IPSC.
How dare you?
Just for the record,
I've
shot like 10 IPSC matches in my whole, well, maybe more before I came to the US. But since I came to the US, like 10 IPSC matches, right? And I've shot hundreds of USPSA matches. So yeah, my loyalty is with USPSA, just so we're clear on that. But anyways, okay, let's look at another one. So what about this whole 15 round versus 10 round in production?
I don't think 15 versus 10. I think you have low cap. You have a low cap division. Here's low cap.
140 and 170. Done.
Low cap, just all revolver, single stack production, everything falls under low cap. You can all shoot against each other, figure it the fuck out. And then you have a production division that is an out-of-the-box gun, fill the fucking mags up, 9mm, minor power factor, go. Because that's the most popular gun in the U.S., and that's what most people have when they come into a sport. They want to be able to fill the mags up and have fun.
So maybe we should make open unlimited then, like PCC.
Holy shit. You are wild.
Well, I mean, isn't that what you're saying?
Oh.
No.
Why do we care about a 171mm mag? Why don't we just make it like load what you brung? If you want to run a 50-round mag in an open gun, feel free.
With Barney fart loads.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, the production, it has to be production gun and production mags. What do most production mags have? 17 to 18 rounds, maybe?
20, 21, yeah.
20, right? They can't have a mag. It has to be a stock-ish gun, right? And with mags that maybe we make it, same as CO, 140, what is it, 141.25 millimeter or something?
You know why it's 1.25 more?
Why?
Do you know, Bill?
I have no idea.
So it was 140, but because they were worried that the gauges weren't going to be exactly accurate every time, they added an extra 1.25 millimeters onto that.
Yeah, it was a level of uncertainty. So everybody started making their gauges to the new maximum.
and for some, that gave them an extra round. But anyway, so how about PCC? Should we make PCC like 170 mags or 30-round mags? Maybe the Glock 30-round mag. That's a production gun.
I think PCC should have a 30-round mag limit.
Wow,
and that's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think it should. I think it should have a 30-round mag capacity, or like a size-wise. People are still going to find a way to stuff the extra in there, right? But it's going to make PCC guys a little less likely to throw in a 55-round mag on a 32-round stage and take 19 makeup shots, right?
I think the only reason to make PCC limited to a magazine, I think maybe making it limited to like the open maximum 170, right, is to try to inject some extra competition into the sport, like to force them to do a reload somewhere. That's really the only reason to do it.
Yeah, and it's not going to slow the big boys down, but what it is going to do is it's going to make them more conscious of their makeup shots, right?
Now,
so
hold up. With that being said, with your wanting to inject some kind of competition by having them reload during a stage, that's the only reason to make it right. That's the only reason to limit it.
But then I get to it's not going to, it's the same with golf. It's not going to affect the big boys. It's only going to affect the regular people. So then just let them do whatever they want.
The only reason to do it is to create some kind of competition. The reason production is limited and it's creating these guys to have to reload more often, that's a level of competition you're now going to take away by only having them reload once during a stage.
No, there's still a low cap division. If they want to go shoot low cap, then they shoot production 10 and low cap.
Talking about, why would you add another? We got fucking
No,
divisions.
you're just going to have low cap. You're just going to have low cap. No. Listen. You're misunderstanding me. You're just going to have low cap. There's not going to be a single stack of production, a revolver, a limited 10, low cap. 10 rounds, fits in a box, figure it the fuck out. Low cap. Then you have production.
Just a suggestion. Why don't we do everything optic and everything insights? 2 divisions.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're trying to do. There's so many avenues to go down. You're not going to please anybody, right? Which is why this is an arbitrary conversation, because you're always going to piss someone off. It's just about
I like production. I like production the way it is.
Joking aside, I think the divisions are fine. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of some of the things just because I think people shoot some division. That's good. I'll say it. Shoot like an L10 when they get to a match because there's 5 people in L10. I forget the exact numbers. And they want a trophy. Yeah, and I forget the exact numbers, but like in Area 2, I think we had like 6 or 7 people in L10 and X number of people in Revolver and stuff. But at the same time, it doesn't really take away slots from other people because it's based on a total number of slots. And it doesn't hurt anybody, so that's basically fine. And the thing I like about PCC is that I think that obviously I realize now we've got, I mean, what's the new 5, not the GMR 15, the new one. What's it called? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
The new JPPCC?
The JP5, that new one, which I'm getting mine next month, right? You know what that thing costs now?
It's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, there's
$2,000
no user that's going to go buy that.
It's a $3,500, $4,500 PCC. Same with the Dissident, same with the F1. I mean, you're going to pay $2,500 to $4,500 for a PCC. Right. Now, here's the thing. PCC originated as a way for people to just get in the sport and have fun, right? I think that's where I run into, do we want to limit the capacity? Because anytime you add rules, right, like golf, I'm going to use golf as a great example. Right now, golf is shut up. Anyway, right now, golf is going under they're trying to talk about some rule changes because you got guys like Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. They're driving 420-yard greens, and they're talking about it's not fair, right? So let's change things. Let's change PGA rules to try to limit those guys. Well, it's not going to limit those guys. They're still going to find a way to do it. All it's going to do, they're talking about making the driver head smaller or making the golf balls different. It's not going to affect those guys. The only guys it's going to affect is guys playing at their local club who want to play a tournament, and now they got to buy this dumb shit to be within regulation, right? So that's where I think certain changes like lowering power factor isn't going to affect the big boys. What it's going to do is it's going to make it better for the people getting into the sport. If they want to go compete in open, they can go. They can go buy 9mm plus P and they can go and compete. Now, when you talk about changing production and all, it's not, or limiting PCC, that's an arbitrary rule that's not going to affect anyone but the people trying to get into the sport, right? It's going to make it harder for them to have fun. So
and again, I'm not suggesting we change that, just so we're clear, right?
No, yeah.
I've already written it down. This guy, not vote for this guy. He's a jerk. I'm going to be a hell of a monkey on the internet.
So I think that, PCC, I mean, I look at, for instance, my fiance. She won't come shoot with us at almost any of the matches except like 1 or 2 of these, like left out match last weekend at Lake Havasu, right? She has other guns, but she only shoots a PCC. She doesn't want to deal with holsters and doesn't want to deal with hassle. She literally carries 2 magazines for the whole match, and that's it. No fuss, nothing, right? She shoots one of my JMR 15s. That's, I think, where a lot of people start out. She's not going to go buy a $3,500 gun. And, I mean, would I buy that for her? Well, if she came shopping more often, maybe. But, again, that's a different type of decision. I think the majority of people that jump into sport that want to shoot, they're going to buy a production gun, or nowadays probably going to buy a carry optics gun, or they're going to get a, one of the little Glocks with a sight on it, or with a little optic on it, or something like that. If they want to go from there to open, I mean, even for me, when I first started shooting, and I had like nothing. I mean, Dillon Precision would give me lead bullets. That's the only way I could shoot the first time I shot here in the States. And I shot a limited gun that was rebuilt a whole bunch of times by this guy into an open gun. And I mean, it just limped along. But it was all I could afford. And I'm still competitive with it. Obviously not against the big boys, but who's shooting against the big guy when you're a C-class shooter or D-class shooter anyway? So I don't really think that the open thing is that significant. Now, if you want to get really serious, it's like driving Formula One. They try to limit Formula One expenditure, $400 or $500 million a team. I think that's, they shoot themselves in the foot, because trying to make everybody the same. And the Haas team is never going to beat Ferrari. It's just not going to happen. Unless,
I think it was stupid as well.
Yeah, no kidding. Why is it we can't field an American team that actually doesn't come last by 3 seconds per lap?
You want to know why? Because the FIA for years has, anytime an American team comes in, have you noticed that every time they try to innovate, they come under scrutiny and certain rules change to limit their ability to do anything. So that's why, like Haas, for example, you ever notice that their car is basically a recreation of like 3 other cars? They just buy a bunch of shit and put it together because that's the only way they're going to get away with innovating. Because anytime they make a new part, they have to submit it for approval. So when they submit it for approval, it's going to get kicked back 10 times out of 10 because it's an American team. So they have to copy other teams. They have to buy other teams' proprietary engineering and then make those parts based off of what's already been approved.
From last year.
Yeah, it's a dirty little secret that not a lot of people know about Formula One, but they fucking hate Americans.
Americans own Formula One. I mean, the crowd tech that they own Formula One now, Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, Bill, did we finally exhaust you?
You guys started going into some weird direction with Formula One. You lost me. But like talking about football, like you get 10 seconds, and then after that, I'm disengaging.
But yeah, I mean, here's the problem. Here's the problem you run into, and this is why no matter how bad it got, there's certain things that might make me run for like an area director spot, but it would be very, very fucking difficult. We've had this conversation, Leighton. No matter what you do, nobody's going to be happy.
Oh,
there's always going to be critics, and the critics are always the loudest. That's the problem.
And you're right, but here's my problem. So if you're at a club, so you guys are both fairly significantly large clubs, right? Yes? Mm-hmm. If you had somebody who was just constantly bitching and whining and stirring trouble and up against the executive of the club or whatever, what would you
fight
do?
him in the fucking parking lot? Like a man.
That's a great idea. Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Well, see, the problem was you were still on the range, Trevor. You should have went to the parking lot.
Exactly.
I'm going to call that the Cotter rule.
No, technically in Alabama, hand-to-hand combat is legal amongst two two agreeing adults. You can have hand-to-hand combat to the death.
So here's my take on that. We're not going down that road. we have a board meeting on Tuesday.
So Nationals is happening in Alabama again.
But here's where the problem is, right? If you have just the loud ones in the back, just constantly going and going and going, as much as it sucks, you just got to kind of tune it out and go. Yeah. I mean, you've run into that in any sport or in any business. I spent a long time in the corporate world at Baker Hughes, and the loudest people were the ones that, one, had no fucking clue what was going on, and two, had the dumbest fucking ideas. And at the end of the day, you just got to kind of let them say their fucking piece and then do whatever you're going to do for the good of the company or the good of the organization, and then just let them cry about it later. I
think Bruce One calls those howler monkeys.
Yeah.
I think that was I think that was one of the misconceptions that came out of that. Was like everybody was like, "Oh, he called the general membership howler monkeys." I was like, "No, he called the fucking meme lords that don't represent anything other than their stupid meme page howler monkeys," and I completely agree with him.
You know, Bruce Wan is one of the neatest guys out there. And I'm not just saying that because of what, I mean, he truly, and when, you know, it's funny because when he wrote that thing or when he was talking about that, he's funny as hell. And he's joked all the time about stuff like that. You know, he's like, you know, he just has the sense of humor that, I mean, we have the same thing. We each have our individual sense of humor. You know, if I say something dumb to you, Trevor, you're going to come back. Bill, you're going to come back. You know, that's what we do. And it's not like, and the problem is when you put that down on a piece of paper and then somebody tries to spin that out of context, they can make it look really bad. I mean, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
And the dumb part is that we're all adults in this. And if you just look at it and say, hey, that's not that person. Like if somebody calls me an asshole, okay. I actually had a client come in and he made one of my trainers cry. He was just a real dominant, tough guy kind of guy. And I'm just not big on that. You know, a lot of my staff are female. In fact, 90% of them are female. I think out of 46 people that work for me, I think 4 or 5 of them are men and the rest
at
are
a
female.
dog training facility. You don't say.
Yeah, that's right. The biggest training facility in the Western United States, by the way. But
I wanted to come see it while I was up there. I need to come see it next time.
Oh, dude, damn it! I can't show you pictures because I'm on my phone right now. But I'll send you a picture.
Send me some stuff.
I just got 2 new dogs that arrived 2 days ago, and I get them tomorrow. And they were, the handler, the guy that was that trained them, was doing bite work with them, and the bite work that we were doing is for a client, but we're a little bit nervous always about showing clients some of the heavy hitting stuff. It's kind of like fight class, you know, when you're in MMA or when you go to a place and there's this young cocky fighter that shows up there and the instructor's like, dude, I used to beat guys like you for breakfast, you know, kind of deal. And then somebody will get in the ring and they'll spar a little bit and then you just like take him out. You know what I mean? Just like, well, this dog shows up and the decoy, who's an awesome guy and a very, very experienced decoy, he fights this dog, right? And the dog's like, oh, that's the game we're playing. All right, cool. And this dog just mauls him in this fight, right? I mean, like it's all properly trained. The decoy's wearing a suit. At the end of it, the decoy's arms down here are like bruised and swollen through the suit, through the bite suit, right? On both sides. So I filmed this thing and I sent it to the client and I'm like saying to my trainers, like, hey, we probably shouldn't be showing this to the client because they're going to be like freaking out about it. The guy writes back and says, holy shit, that was awesome.
Yeah, send that to me. And I'm telling you, hey, next area too, I'm going to come down. I'm getting in the bite suit for the IG.
I was just going to say, so next time you guys we'll make a day like an afternoon and you guys can all come down and I'll have 4 or 5 dogs lined up and we'll line you guys up for the most cocky down to like the softest. And then, for the Bills and the Trevors out there, we'll give you like the 5-star dogs. And then for the girls, we'll give the girls like the dogs that kind of like bite, but they're like.
Oh,
do you remember John McClane? Do you know John McClane?
Yeah.
So he came out here one day and we put him in a bite suit and he's like, hey, can I fight the dog? I said, sure. You know, he said, can I kick the dog? I'm like, you could try. You know, like, so on video that I send the dog after him and he runs and then he turns around and he runs at the dog. And I'm like, oh, this is going to get interesting real fast. And you can just see the dog's face go from, all right, this is one of Leighton's buddies that he's showing off with. He's got to do a bite to, oh, the guy wants to come at me. That's fine.
Now and I got to
slams into him and bites him in the groin, like just lifts him up and body slams into the ground. And and he's screaming his head off like, okay. And I'm like, what? Okay, what? You know? Anyway, we did the same thing with Recoil Magazine. They came out here and their editor, I put one of my dogs on him. And the guy was crying like a baby afterwards. He's like, geez, I never realized the dogs bit that hard. Like, what do you think these dogs do? So anyway, all right.
I can't wait, man.
I'll bring one of my dogs back east to come visit you guys one of these days.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I actually, so when
live
I have
podcast,
kids,
do it live.
Yeah, well, I will do it live for sure.
No editing.
But, I need to get with you about buying a personal protection dog for when I have kids. I want to, whenever my kid is born, I want to get a personal protection dog already like done, so that way I can be with my wife.
You're already scared of your children?
I'm not worried about that, Leighton.
What do you think? What do you think a top level personal protection dog costs nowadays?
Probably $50 to $100,000.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
Depending on
yeah, I want to until I want my kid and wife. I travel so much, And the world
can't
we
beat
live
it.
in, nowadays, I would feel much comfortable with one of those fur missiles by their side whenever I'm gone. So
Yeah.
I'm gone like 105 days out of the year. So it's worth every penny.
Trevor's spending his wife's money again.
So my wife makes a lot of money.
He has to go away just long enough for her to miss him. And then he comes back and she's like, oh, that's why I was glad you were gone.
So my wife is definitely the breadwinner, but I also do well. So
that
will probably come out of my take.
Are you done having children?
Who, me or Bill?
You, both of you.
I haven't had kids yet. We're trying. We're doing the fun part right now.
Well, then we'll have to
I've
put
already
some
spread my evil demon seed, so.
Yeah, because that is a thing, by the way. Just
what?
Wearing a little extra protection. Like wearing groin protector when the dog bites.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna have
to. And you got.
Listen, man. We talked about this. You said you have the light suit and then you have the big suit. I want the bubble suit. Okay.
You can't run.
Well, here's the thing.
I need you to run.
All right. Well, I'm not running at the dog. I'm running away from the dog. So if it bites me on the ass, we're all good.
I'll give you a head start. How much do you want? I tell you what. Make a donation. $10 for every 10 feet. You've got
yoga.
I'm pretty fast, man. Listen, I played college ball. I'm pretty quick. I'm not a slow guy.
Love that. I'll give you a 50-foot head start.
50 feet? That's
that dog
what?
No, don't do the head start, dude. That dog is gonna
hold on.
you.
We got to do a 40-yard dash. We'll do a 40-yard dash, and if I beat the dog to the 40-yard dash with a 50-foot head start, I'll give you $100. But if I win, then we'll figure something out.
Dude,
so these dogs can do it.
You can do a 40-yard dash. He'll give you 50 yards, and you'll still lose.
Listen, I know these dogs can run a 40 in like 1.9, so I'm not real confident. But still,
they're just puppies. They're super affectionate. I mean, they'll love and kiss on you, so they probably won't bite that hard afterwards.
Hey, I'm gonna run to the restroom. Y'all keep at it. Bill, you're in charge.
I think we're done.
I don't know anything. Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing I know about is loving on my dogs. I'm not.
Hey, Bill, I've got a great idea. Have you ever used an e-collar? You know, a shock collar, what they call shock collars?
Yeah, I use them in the bedroom all the time.
There you go. All right. So what we should do is we should put that on a shooter, and when the guy misses his position, you know, like when people run overshoot a position, you just like give him a little tag on the remote to like remind him like you missed that position.
That would be
all about in training.
They're maybe with training with like airsoft guns. I don't know. These guys, you give them any kind of, how do I describe? Like most competition shooters are not any kind of self-defense shooters. So you do inject any kind of unexpected, and they're going to do something stupid. I just don't trust people. You get somebody with some kind of military experience or law enforcement or something like that, and you give them something like that, that'll actually be a good training aid. I don't see these guys that are they go to their day job of being a nerd at some IT company, and they come out to the range and shoot, and you give them a zap, they're going to do something stupid. They're going to drop the gun, or I just can't. It sounds like fun. It really does. For my military guys, like totally, I'd go out and zap my fucking Marine buddies all day long. They're used to that shit. But like, you're talking about guys that would go around with the freaking restart your heart paddles and zapping each other for shits and giggles because they were bored on deployment. So.
I got a new subject for you because people are complaining we're talking about dogs instead of talking about USPSA. What do you think about video replay being used in an arbitration? And not for 180s, let's be clear on that. Not for a 180 or something, but for like foot faults or number of rounds fired, or did you engage that target or whatever?
Well, so I'll go back. For the people that want to understand the topic, the reason it's not being done now is because not everybody can have the same amount of review, right? So unless you do something where you've got all of the stages set up with the same amount of video coverage that can be reviewed, they don't want you to have an advantage because your buddy had his camera at just the right angle and this guy's angle wasn't good enough to see the foot fault. So I think it would be a good idea if the match if there was a way for the rule set to allow a match that had set up cameras to review whatever happened using those set up cameras, I think that would cover both aspects, right? Like if you
So
had
I'm
a
talking
camera
more
on each,
about you having your own camera. I don't think that. I mean,
I think
we couldn't use like streaming cameras or match.
Are y'all talking about review footage?
Yeah.
right. So I think
Use your
what
own
you're going to run
camera.
I think that's the same problem that you run into for everybody else. There's no competitive equity because not everybody is being recorded. So if you can cover that,
no, because then if
would you stop and let
want...
me finish my thought? No, shut your mouth,
No.
Trevor. So it's not the competitive equity is not everybody gets the same footage. That's what we were talking about before you came back from taking a leak.
Yes, the competitive equity is if you want the same footage, take the same fucking footage. If you don't want that competitive advantage, don't do it. So everybody has the opportunity. Everybody has the same opportunity. Everybody has the opportunity to take.
The workaround I wish would be allowed in the rule set was if the match had set up cameras and the ROs and the staff or the range master could go back to those videos. That would be, I think that would be adequate. That would be the way to do it.
Yes, if that were a thing, if there were set up cameras at every bay that covered every angle, then sure.
You're
Absolutely.
covering every bay and every angle with one guy standing behind the RO while he's videotaping you. It's not the same thing. I'm saying
you're focused on the shooter, so you're seeing all the shoot. Like you're not going to be able to see.
Have you
doubles
seen
off
these
of
guys?
It,
these guys can't freaking cover
then
themselves. They're videoing the back of the RO that's running behind the guy with the timer like this.
Then they'll get better at it. They'll get better at it, or they won't. Like there's been times.
What are you thinking, Leighton?
So, I think you're like at step 5. I'm like at step 1. So step 1 would be the shooter's own video if they have it. So for example, like a foot fault, if somebody gets called over a foot fault, they can stop right. They finish the stage. That while they're scoring, as they finish. I'm sorry. Let me say this again. It's been a long day. They finish shooting the stage. The RO calls the time. They start scoring. The RO says you had a foot fault back there. They can look at the camera right away and say, no, I didn't. Here, my foot can be seen off the ground. Because sometimes it's super difficult to see if a person's foot is up at the instant that they fire that shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's overwhelming evidence to the whatever side it is, then that's where it goes. So it doesn't even really have to be an arbitration or whatever. Now, I will tell you the other side of this, because I've had this conversation with other people, is that it's going to slow matches down dramatically, and not everybody has cameras. I get that as well. But I think that
everybody has a camera. Everybody has a cell phone. Nobody in fucking 2021 doesn't have a cell phone with a camera on it.
Well,
figure it the fuck out.
Again, it's just so if I call a foot fault on you and you don't think you've got it, you pull your video, then that would be the only time we would do it. We wouldn't do it for every shooter, for example.
Yeah. It would just be when there's a questionable call. Not very often.
And we know in certain stages that's more likely to be than in other stages. The other way to get around that thing is don't cross fault lines.
Yeah. Let me give you a good example of when.
Well, you're still going to have foot faults.
Let me give you a good personal example of when video evidence would have been great, right? This is the only time I've been like this, and I showed the RM the video after the call was already made, and he was like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to help you there. Area 7, they said I shot through a wall. And I, clear as day, said, this is where I shot the target from. There's no possible way with those hits on that target that I shot through the wall. The physics don't make sense. Well, there's a hit in the wall, and there's wood in the target. And they said because there's wood in the target, my ROs say that they didn't see the wood there before. It had to have been you. And I told them, listen, here's my footprints. This is where I shot it. From this angle, there's no physical way I could have shot through the wall. It's impossible. And he was like, I agree with you. But here's the thing. I got to go with what my ROs say. I pulled my video up, and clear as day in the video, you can see me shoot the targets, and you can see the hits already in the wall. That would be a perfect example of where video evidence would have been great. Sure.
Yep. I could go with that. And I think this is something that we could, look into and run on a sort of on the side basis. And again, using the word overwhelming evidence, that seems
if there's overwhelming evidence, like if you got a video of your foot and your toes hanging over the fault line and they can't tell if it's on or off the ground, like go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a game where we can't say an obvious center punch hit on a steal is a hit if the steal didn't fall down. And you guys are trying to correct You guys are
No, I
trying to
agree.
correct something minute when we can't correct something so fucking obvious.
I agree with that as well.
You go up,
Bill.
there's a big black center punch mark on a steel, and they're like, bro, that's a miss because it didn't fall
Hit's
down.
a hit. I think if it hits the steel, a hit's a hit. If it doesn't fall or not, if there's a hit, it's a hit. We
Hey,
beat
you
the
know
steel
that
at majors.
some of
anyway.
us actually go
That's so
look at what
disturbing.
the chrono was for certain shooters after the match. And you know it's an average of three. It's an average of 3 rounds, and when 2 of the 3 don't make chrono, but the average does, then they pass. So who's to say that round wasn't?
Well, yes,
perfect.
I get what you're saying.
And I'm not saying it is, and I'm just saying just like again.
But technically, they
It's
made
calling-
power factor, so if they
Yes.
hit the steel, it should count, right? If they technically, if they made power factor, a hit's a hit. I think honestly, if you hit the steel, I don't give a shit if you're shooting under power factor. If you hit the steel, my job as a shooter was to hit that target. I hit the target. Now, if the target wasn't calibrated for my load, I still hit the motherfucker. My accuracy was there. Everything was there that I was asked to do, right? Hit the target. That's my job.
So how would you change that? What would you want to do?
Paint the targets, paint the steel.
Same rules as steel plate.
Steel challenge, right? Paint the targets. If there's a hit, there's a hit. If it's a hit and it didn't go, gee, it's a fucking hit. Yeah.
It's a reshoot.
No, it counts.
No, hit or
So it would have
if
to
it
be
hits,
a
it hits. No. Fuck that. If
As
it hits,
per,
it hits.
per the current rule, if you hit a steel
No,
plate
not
and
per
it
the
doesn't
current
fall down-
rule. We're changing that shit.
No, Trevor.
That's what we're talking
said-
about here.
I said it should be the same rule as the steel plates.
I don't give a fuck
That's
what
what
you
I
said, Bill.
said. And you don't know the rule because you ain't take no RO class. It's not my fault.
So,
I shoot enough
all right,
majors. I
hold
know
on,
the rule.
gentlemen,
I think if you
I
hit
wanna
the
point
target,
something
the
out
target
here.
fall. The target counts.
So here we have you two guys, 2 highly intelligent, experienced, competitive shooters that shoot the same game, same rule sets, blah, blah, blah. And you guys can't agree on something.
No, exactly.
That's-
You're never going to make everybody happy.
And that's what we're up against all the time. So at the end of the day, 8 people, 9 if you include the president, have to decide which way to jump on this thing. I
So that's
personally
where-
think a hit's a hit. That's what I think.
So-
I think
so
a hit's a
that's-
hit. If it doesn't go down, reshoot.
So
Sorry,
that's where I
yeah.
think
You end up if you do that. The only problem though is if you do it that way,
you're going
any
to have a lot of
target,
reshoots.
any activated targets are going to be a problem. So if you call it a hit like Steel Challenge, like it nicked it, it hit it, it counts, right? Any kind of activated target would be scored the same, would end up being a real mess because it would
No,
be a
because
hit,
it's a
but it didn't
reshoot.
actually. That's. Are you agreeing with me now? Make up my mind, Trevor, because you were just
Well-
arguing with me a second ago.
Well, now
that
that you
it's a
brought,
hit, and it's
well,
not
now-
a reshoot.
well, on activator targets, it's a reshoot.
Oh, just on activator targets.
Yeah,
But I could go with that. I
Uh-huh.
could go with that as well, to be honest. Because I mean, it would slow the match down somewhat if you had heavy plates that weren't going down and it's a reshoot every single
it
time.
slows it
etc.
down just as much as if you have to call for a calibration.
No, because most people like me would shoot the steel a game at least twice, at least, because you almost never win a calibration of that type.
True.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on if you saw that you had hit it and it didn't fall down. If you saw and it didn't hit and it didn't fall down, you're going to shoot at it again.
Hey, I got
You're
screwed
going
by-
to do the mental math on the reshoot.
At area 2, I had exactly that same thing. I had 2 misses in the whole match, which was not bad considering how complicated some of the stages were.
Pretty good.
And one of them was a steel plate that I edged and took off. And while I'm running up the lane, I'm looking at that plate saying, please go, please go, please go. Ah, shit. Didn't go.
Nationals,
And
remember
then
you
I was
that
thinking
steel?
about I was thinking of JJ while I was running.
Nationals, remember Nationals last year? Not this just past year, but the year before. You hit the steel, it didn't fall on that short stage,
Yep.
and you left it.
That was your
and-
fault. You screwed me on that stage because you amped me up to shoot the high-risk version of that stage. You're like,
Oh,
yeah, come on, ladies,
I agree.
go for it. You can do this.
Yeah.
You can do
I was
this.
there. It's totally your fault.
You
And
weren't
that
even
cost
in the
me
same
The
state,
senior
Bill.
title that year.
That is all right. I did technically.
I don't even know why
talk
he's
you-
a friend with you anymore after
I
that.
did technically talk you into going for the high risk,
There you
high
go.
reward, but
At least
you
admit it.
did it. But because the steel calibration rule is so fucking stupid, you ended up leaving the steel, and then you didn't
I
want to go
was
back for it,
standing
even
there-
though if you did go back for it, you would have won high senior.
I was standing with my hand surrender, looking at my gun on the barrel, and saying to myself, this is dumb. And the RO was saying, are you ready? And I'm like, I should say, no, I'm not ready, and stop and go back to the conservative run, which would have been, I was 30 points ahead of Mel Ribeiro at that stage. I think Mel was watching. And Trevor.
Why would you listen to me? My match was in the dumpster. Don't fucking listen to me.
Have you ever seen him finish a major? You can't trust him, Leighton.
Oh, hey, to be fair, I've won more than I haven't.
There you go. That's
but
coming back.
Hey, you connected on that, but because the steel rule is out, I think on activators, if you hit it and it doesn't activate, I think if you hit the steel and if it doesn't fall and doesn't activate, you get a reshoot, right? But you have to calibrate that steel. Now, when I say that, I say the steel that didn't fall needs to be adjusted. Now, that's where it could slow it down. But eventually, after one or two people, the steel is going to fall for everyone, right? So it's going to work itself out.
So remember remember the Area 2 match you guys were whining about, that you were talking about earlier on that was cold? Because, you guys back east don't know how to deal with cold.
Yeah, we don't
the one in Prescott?
Yeah. So remember
when I didn't bring winter clothes and I was wearing a fucking T-shirt and it was snowing and I lost the match to Dexter Bradley.
Without a jacket. I mean.
Listen, I was in the lead going into the last day when it started snowing and Dex came out of nowhere and put a fucking 4% gap on me because he's from where you psychopaths are where it actually snows.
So that's the coldest day we've had in a long time there, but at least it didn't snow. But anyway,
you know
back
why?
to that. So
it did snow. It did fucking snow.
Remember that stage with the bus that I was running?
Yeah,
the two steel plates down at 50 yards. Remember that?
Yeah.
That stuff was a nightmare because if the wind came up and blew, then it would hold those plates up. So that's the problem, is always this wind thing. Same with clams. I mean, I never want to see another clam in my life after Area 2, but the conditions are just what they are, and sometimes that affects the way that these poppers work. You set them for a no wind condition, and then when the wind comes up, it either stays up or doesn't stay up or blows down before you get there, etc. So I don't think there's any one solution that works, and that's my problem with all this stuff. I think that just a hit's a hit, and it's either a reshoot, or if you want to go that route, if it's an activator, it's got to be a reshoot. If it's not an activator, then you can call it as a hit and so forth.
Boom, let's go. Make the change. Call the NROI or whoever the fuck and just tell them this is how it is.
Call the board. The DNROI doesn't make rule changes.
Oh, whatever. Then, hey, just call all the board members and say this is what we're doing.
All right. Well, our
Suck
numbers
it up,
have dropped to
Buttercup.
31 from 50, so obviously 20 people thought we sucked. So I think I've had enough, and I've probably stirred up enough. I've actually got more stuff that I can stir you guys up with, but we'll keep it for another podcast.
How many people do you have on yours?
I'm showing
34.
Oh, yeah. Well, they come in and out. They always do that.
Yeah.
There's going to be over 3,000 people who have watched this at one point by the end of it.
Only 3,000 out of
3,000
35,000 members?
No.
If you ever feel bad,
3,000 people or so will watch the live, and then each podcast gets anywhere from 10 to 15,000 downloads, and then the YouTube is going to get however much the YouTube gets. It depends on if I get nerfed or not.
Yeah.
But
So
usually about 20,000 people see these things every episode.
If you ever feel like you've wasted some people's time, just remember Trevor is wasting a lot more people's time.
For sure. For sure. This is I think the highest downloaded shooting podcast by a good margin. That's not a hunting podcast.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me
But
on.
Brian is nipping on my fucking heels.
Well, when you posted earlier on, will Leighton join us? I actually wasn't going to join because I was sitting in a dark lounge and my fiance was glaring at me from the other side of the room. And then I don't know who it was. One of you guys said, "Oh, he'll never join." It's like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'll come. Let's go. Let's do it."
I'll show you.
Mama didn't raise no
That's it. Mike Foley will never get on this podcast.
Hey, I'd have him on.
I'd have him on. Totally.
I'm not going there. And you guys didn't even talk about the rule or the bylaw of can somebody who's been removed run for office again?
I think they shouldn't. I think it should be if you got removed because you were a shitbag, then you continue to be a shitbag and you stay out of the office. Personally.
Well, I mean, that's
That's how it should work.
So
yeah, it's genius. I like it.
it's genius in its obviousness.
Well,
If you
I
couldn't
appreciate-
do the job, you still can't do the job, right? I mean, that should be obvious.
And the reason I ask that is because some people, I had emailed tonight from somebody, in fact, I've got to answer it, of, you know, he was only removed for that incident, so why are we talking about other things that have been happening during USPSA? And I'm like, okay.
Oh, dude,
Well,
we
Leighton,
should, listen,
Leighton,
we should
that's-
just have Harvey Weinstein go ahead and take over a modeling agency while we're at it. Does that sound like a genius idea?
That's going to become front and center news because Ghislaine is in court this week. She's going to be testifying this week, I think.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, are we talking about Weinstein now? So
No, not
that's
Weinstein,
part of-
Epstein.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
So
Stay with
part-
it, yeah, Bill.
Yeah. So that's part of the problem, though, is there's people out there that don't understand why he was removed. They think he was removed only because of that incident. They don't realize that was just the match that set the board's ass on fire to do something about it.
Yeah,
and that's the unfortunate thing is they can't.
issues.
You guys can't jump on alive and say, "Look, this is all the dirtbag shit that was going on," and nobody wants to hear because you guys can't say it blatantly like that. Nobody's willing to like just assume that there was more than just the reason that they heard about. So
The fact that
I'll
all
be
8
vocal
board
about it.
members voted to remove him should be indicative of the fact that there was a lot more to it.
Listen,
It should
for
be,
everyone
but it's-
wondering, when that whole situation came out, my stance on it was, and everyone knew this, I gave the information to the board. It's their job to handle it. It's not my job to go out there and blast it all over social media, right? Because that's going to do more harm than good. Let the board have a chance to do their job. If they did their job to a T, perfectly. Here's the caveat to that. When that whole thing came out, right, I probably got 15 to 20 DMs from people who have said that they had a similar situation happen to them, but they didn't report it because they didn't know whether it would go anywhere or if it would be taken seriously, or they were intimidated, or they didn't know the proper
they didn't want to be
channels.
accused of just whining.
Exactly. So it was a long-running theme that I'm sure there were more and I'm talking about even well-known shooters reached out and were like, hey, this happened to me too. Here's what happened. Thank God somebody finally came out and did something. So it's not like the guy got removed for one fucking incident, okay? He was a shitbag. He's going to continue to be a shitbag. I'll call him a shitbag to his face, obviously. Hopefully the next president after Sherwin, who I love to death, gets out. Whenever he decides he doesn't, when the next president gets elected, hopefully they're a much better human being, and they'll have my support 100% as long as they don't go around torching members at matches.
Do you think that the bylaws should be finished?
Oh, 100%.
Before the special election is held?
Yes. And here's why, right? The bylaws aren't trying to change. Here's the problem. When Foley was in, he had what would be considered absolute power. He really did. I mean, he had final sign-off on everything. If he wanted to go, he could do whatever he wanted, basically, with no approval from the board. Am I correct on that?
Pretty much.
So
I mean, there was supposed to be oversight, but it was never enforced.
Exactly. So here's the problem with that. We got lucky for the most part that it didn't end up getting worse than what it is. So the board changing the bylaws is only protecting the organization, not necessarily the board or the incoming president. And that's where I think a lot of it's been muddied, is people are thinking the board is changing stuff for the benefit of them. They're not. They're changing the bylaws for the benefit of the paying members to make sure that people have to be accountable for what's going on. So I think that the bylaws 100% have to be fixed, because there are some fucky bylaws. After I figured out what some of the bylaws were, I went through them. I was like, what in the hell? There's some fucky bylaws that need to be fixed. And once they're fixed, then we have the special election when we're comfortable in the fact of the president coming in and the hired CEO are properly
GM.
There's a
GM are properly supervised, right?
So there's a sensation out there from being disseminated by one of the other more loud howler monkeys than us, about that it was during his reign that it wasn't impossible for the board to step in and stop what was going on. That it was the same amount of power the board has now, and they weren't exercising it. And that's where the scrutiny is coming in from people that are hearing that loud individuals say those things. And that's my question is that's kind of like, that's what's not being explained. Like, was it really that he had so much power, or was it that the board wasn't really exercising their ability to stop him?
I wish I could
Now,
answer
hold
that.
on. Before you try to answer that, Leighton, there was also the individual being the personality that he is. So I'm hearing a lot from people that have dealt with Mr. Foley in the past, and that there was an intimidation factor that was being applied to a lot of people.
You want me to answer
about
that?
About legal things, and I don't mean about just being loud and yelling at each other on the range. I mean like threatening litigation, like over just about anything.
So, Leighton, I'll take the bullet for you, buddy. The previous president was, I would say, extremely aggressive in a lot of ways as far as litigation threats and other avenues. And I also would say that the board was in a compromising position because he was also a CEO hired through Seattle, Washington, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
And Seattle has, and this is coming from a professional standpoint. Listen, I have run many companies. I am on the board of different companies. Washington Seattle in particular, is literally one of the hardest places to terminate an employee on the face of the fucking planet. Period. Like, they basically have to commit murder for you not to be liable to countersuit. So you're in a compromising position with a person who is just smart enough to know that they can get away with most things, but just dumb enough to realize that they're going to do those things eventually, right? So it was a really hard walk that I don't think any of us would have liked to have been put into. But that's the point behind the bylaw change, right? Is now there's going to be a change of they don't have that type of power. They're not a hired CEO. They're a president elected, right? So there's a lot easier way to, I don't want to say micromanage, but micromanage what they're doing. And then the CEO hired, hopefully not through Seattle, Washington, maybe through Delaware or somewhere like that, where it's a little bit easier, or maybe an at-will state, is more susceptible to board influence. Right. So the board, while there was some fucky stuff going on, I mean, if he would have came out in the middle of a board meeting and said, fuck all of you, you can all suck my whatever, that's not a fireable offense in Seattle. Like, literally, you have like you're so susceptible to countersuit in Seattle for wrongful termination. It's not even funny. So that's why the hiring of the investigator and the litigation and everything had to be really wrapped in on a nice little pretty bow. Right.
And this is what people didn't understand about what was going on.
They have no
idea.
And
this is why you got the people out there that are the naysayers that are like, I would totally have, this guy back, or that, this should never have happened. And it's just Trevor whining and all this stuff. They don't really, all of this information, this is like the first time it's actually being said like it is.
Yeah. Listen, whenever the whole thing happened, it was a thing that happened. I had no interest in getting involved. But when I made other people aware of what had happened, I was told very quickly, hey, this needs to be reported. It's not okay. And I was like, man, I really don't want to get involved. No, you have to get involved.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. Hey, you need to be that guy, right? So when I got involved, I had this conversation with many trusted people. won't say who they are, but they told me basically like, hey, this has to go through the proper channels. It has to be done correctly. If it's done correctly, it'll stick. If it's not, it's not. And that was the point of through the whole thing. You never saw me coming on social media and be like, fucking blah, 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 right? Because I knew
we didn't even talk about it until somebody else released it.
Yeah, I mean, really, in reality, until somebody leaked some stuff, it was never even talked about. And even then, it really wasn't. But the board was put in a very compromising situation that I personally have a lot of knowledge of that I don't think a lot of people did. But, dude, they did a fantastic job with the shit show they were given. So kudos to you guys. I don't think a lot of people realize that, but that's the point in the change in the bylaws is it's not for the board's protection, it's for our protection, really, in reality.
And you're right. Now, I'm not going to delve. You've answered pretty well what, how we looked at that, and bringing the investigator in, taking it out of our hands, not make it, because there was, at the time, an insinuation that some of us, me, were looking at it from a personal point of view. But it wasn't a personal thing with me, and that's all I really want to say about that. It was, when we brought the investigator in, we handed it off to a third party. It went through our attorney, through the USPSA attorney. I didn't even know. I still don't know who the investigator is. Never met him. Don't intend to meet him. But he did his due diligence, and he looked into it, and we came back, and based on that, that's what happened and transpired. But it was something that is definitely in the back of our minds when we look at this now. And none of what we're doing now is directed at the current people. So I know that there was somebody earlier on that said that, the change of the bylaw is directed at one person. I assume that they mean that it's directed at Matt Hopkins. No, these changes in the bylaws started while Foley was still around. I think it was close to 3 years ago now that they came up with, we started talking about this. And initially I was opposed to it because I didn't like the sound of some of it, and I was like, and so forth. But I have to be cautious talking about that because that part of the discussion 3 years ago was an executive session, and then of course it came out and was made public and made public by us. And it is absolutely to protect USPSA. I mean, I have, when people say, well, there's, what's in it for you, Leighton? I wish that somebody could actually point that out to me. Like, what is it for me? Like, what on earth do I get out of?
Don't you get a new truck out of this?
Yeah.
I thought all the area directors got a new truck out of this.
Don't even talk to me about my freaking truck. My truck got hit by a ricochet at the Area 2 match. It went up in the air, came down, went through my brand new moonroof of my Ford Tremor, and it's like 2 months old. And I just got the price.
Because you bought that Tremor at the same time I bought my Rebel.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You know what that moonroof's going to cost to replace?
Probably
$4,500. And I'm like, holy smokes! But anyway, back to the thing. So yeah, there's nothing. I mean, we do this. Absolutely speaking for myself, but I know for a fact all the other board members. There's no doubt everybody does it because they care about USPSA. I remember when
gold
Bruce
at
Gary
the end of the board member rainbow.
Yeah. What? I didn't see that. Sorry.
I said there's no gold at the end of the board member rainbow.
There's nothing. And I'm very touchy, like when people want to give me stuff or free stuff or whatever. I mean, Bill, remember that time when I bought those little targets from you? I was like, no, I'll pay for them because I don't want anyone saying, oh, he gets this or he got a free shirt or he got a free gun. You can ask Eddie. I pay for all my shit, And
Leighton wouldn't let me buy him dinner.
Yeah, because the same thing.
That's because he didn't want to put out. That's not.
Yeah, that too. He knew what was attached. But seriously, we went out. We went out to dinner at what match was that? I can't remember which one. I can't remember what match, but we went out and had dinner.
I think.
Yeah, it was me, you, Nils, and a whole bunch of people. And I tried to buy a dinner for you, and you were like, "No, absolutely fucking not. Nobody buys me dinner. I buy my dinner because, I'm a board member, and that's." Fucking respect, man. I would have ate up those free dinners, baby. What's up? You want that free mic? You want that free
It comes
apple?
back to just
Buy my
straight
dinner.
ethics, guys. It's not even, it's just, I want to be able to say, and not even when I sign, I was going to say when I signed the no, what's that thing called? Not no compete, I'm sorry, the
ethics.
The ethics, yeah. I've actually got to sign it right now. Gary sent it to me the other day. But whatever, saying that we don't have any conflict of interest statement, right? It's not even because of that. I just don't want to feel like I'm beholden to anybody. If I say, hey, your idea is not going to work out, I don't want you feeling like, hey, I bought you this, so therefore you should help me out. And that's as simple as it is. Uh-oh.
Hey, you.
Oh, thank God.
I saw the request and I said we got at it.
So bring the
Hey,
girls in to
Leighton.
get Leighton to shut up. Hi,
No,
I'm
no,
good.
no,
How
no.
are you?
Keep going, Leighton.
Good.
Keep going.
So, anyways, it is truly. I mean, it's the same thing. You walk up on a target. I had a target today, and I knew when I shot at the target, I knew I'd shot a delta and an alpha. And the reason why I knew that is because when I walked up there, I was fully expecting a mic on the target, and I saw, oh, there was a delta there. But they hadn't taped it from the previous shooter, so there was actually 3 alphas and a delta. And so they called 2 alpha, and I'm like, no, that delta is mine. I know I shot that delta. He's like, why would you call that? I'm like, because that's 3 points I didn't earn, and I don't want that in my head at the end of the match. You know, because
respect.
It comes down to like how you approach the shooting. You don't get anything for free. You have to earn every point.
Forfeited alpha. I'll take it. Just let me have your forfeited alpha.
No, that's something that's the competitive equity is a real thing, and as competitors, that's where I've shot with just about everybody, right? I try to shoot with different people all the time, and if I think somebody's cool, I want to shoot with them, right? And you run into people who are competitive equity is very important. And I've seen people call penalties on themselves that are, detrimental and cost them a match, but their competitive equity and them as a person is just so spot on that they do it. And then I've seen other people who will go out of their way to try to get free shit that they know they didn't shoot, right? Like a 25-yard double swinger, and they shot 10 splits at it on the move, and they're like, no, it's a fucking double. But because they're some high-end guy, they get the double, right? I had a swinger at, it was like a swinger at, like, it wasn't very far, like maybe 14 yards, where when I walked past it, I was like, Mike, right? Fuck. Kept walking. Well, I'm like waiting at the scoring table, and I turn around and I see that they're putting an overlay on it, and I just start laughing. And the Williams sisters are right next to me. They're like, what? I'm like, they think that's a fucking double on a swinger that I shot in almost a dead sprint, right? Like, I was just like, I just slung 2 at it, hoping and praying.
And it's moved, so it's like diagonal. So it's
yeah. So they were like, oh no, it's a double. I'm like, guys, there's no chance that was a double. I shot a 16 split on it on the move. It was almost disappearing. Like it's not a double, right? But I see people who do that shit, and they're like, it's a double. It's a double. I shot a perfect double at 35 yards on a swinger that was a partial and a no-shoot, and I shot it on a dead sprint. And I'm like, you're out of your mind. Unless you're Eric Graffel or Christian Seiler or Max Michel or JJ Verkaza, you can fuck right off.
So I've seen at major world level competitions, guys from other countries, especially Russia, I'm sorry to say, where they argue
it was nice knowing you
for a double, and they've even bribed the people who are resetting, because at these major matches in other countries, you don't reset your targets.
Which I
they're
love.
Literally bribing the pasters. Like, I got this on video in 2016. I got this on video. They were bribing the pasters to call out 2 alphas when it's an alpha mic. And they're like, no, it's a double. It's 2 alphas. And they're just like calling it out. And the guy with the tablets just like walking by, whatever they call out, they put in. And I've seen the bribery happening in other countries.
Hey, Keita,
yes.
You got to be careful, because you might be going back to one of those countries, and those guys over there, they're like a little wild, That's like Wild West.
Yeah, so I was not welcome back in Russia for a long time because I got it on video. And they said, you can't come back here. But we worked it out.
Giving away all of our secrets.
Now we're cool. Now we're okay. But yes, I did get on video them bribing the pasters to call out 2 alpha when it was obviously an alpha mic and calling it a double. I got it on video, and they told me, Keita, you must not come back to Russia. And I was like, okay. So I didn't go to Russia for like years.
I would have posted that shit so fast.
I was like fearful for my life. If I go to Russia, I'm going to be like in a body bag. So yes, we worked it out. We're cool now, but yes, that was a thing.
I would have posted it in a heartbeat.
Braver than me.
We got a stage thrown out because the Russians were cheating.
Yeah. Yep.
And I got it on video, and I got the stage thrown out.
You
and
jerk.
had death threats.
So give us something controversial, Keita, that you've come across in something, because like that way it takes the pressure off me tonight.
Yeah, I do some things that I probably shouldn't. Well, when I see something wrong, I'm like, this is wrong. People should know this. Where other people see something wrong and they're like, I don't want to get killed by Russians, so I shouldn't do this. I have like that part of my brain is missing.
Oh, hell.
Mike said snitches get stitches. No, in Russia, stitches get body bags. Snitches go
Yeah, it was bad. Like,
to The
I
Hague.
literally had death threats from this match where I got those stages thrown out where they were cheating, and I got it on video and submitted it.
Next time, call me before you post anything, because it's like, I think we're better staying safe. You've got to get out of that country, remember? It's not like the US where you just go to the airport and check your guns and get on the plane. There, they're like, yeah, you need people.
No, it's totally different, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You couldn't pay me enough money to go to Russia. Let's just say that.
You know where we got to
Russia
go?
is beautiful. It's nice.
Yeah.
Why?
It's cool
Depending
until you.
what
It's
end you're
cool
on.
until you end up getting fucking stabbed to death.
So
This
they
guy
all
is so
have
attached to all of
dash
his
cams.
fingers. It's so annoying.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back like, dude, that trip was so cool.
That was so much fun.
They all have dash cams
Thumbs
there
up.
because, like, the elite people there have drivers, and the drivers will drive on the grass to pass everyone. And if you're in an accident, they want to have it on the dash cam. It's like totally weird how they all have drivers to drive them around. So that's why when Maria came on my podcast and she was saying, well, the object is a 2-hour drive away, I was like, well, depends on your driver.
Who's the Russian guy that shows up in his own like 737 with his Ferrari in the back? Shows up at matches.
What?
Eduardo. Well, he's
Hold
actually
on.
from Spain, but he's on the Russian team.
Wait,
Eduardo.
what? Send me this
Now,
guy's
wait-
info. He has a 737 with a Ferrari in the back he shows up to matches in. Oh, this guy fucks.
He shot U.S. Nationals, and he was like, it's a double, and it's like a 30-yard swinger. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I would have
Yeah,
laughed in
he's
his
standing-
face and be
he's
like, go
standing
back
back in the
to
safe area.
fucking
It
nerd.
is a
Standing-
double.
Didn't even walk up to the target. He's standing in the back of the safe table. He goes, that's a double.
He said double.
You give me double.
Sucking on his
And I'm like,
cigarettes.
So
He
so
said
there's,
double.
I don't know
a,
about that.
there's a story about that guy.
30-yard
That
swinger with a partial, like.
I'd be like, why don't you go jerk off Putin? Get the fuck out of here. It's not a double.
so there's a story that he went and shot a match, and a whole bunch of his buddies all flew with him to the match. You know, in his plane. I don't know, 737 or whatever, big plane, obviously.
Eduardo?
I don't know if it's him, but whoever this Russian guy is, I met him at the 2017 World Shoot in France, but I don't remember his name. But anyway, he shows up
Yeah,
at this
that's
match,
Eduardo.
and he's shooting with his buddies, and he breaks a 180 on the first stage, and he DQs. And so he's all ticked off at everybody. So he turns around, gets his gear, gets in his car, drives to the airport, gets on his plane, and flies out of there. And all the rest of them got left behind at the match.
Is that him?
I can't see that.
I'm not mentioning
Only
names anyway because I still want to
Let
travel
me see
to
if I
Russia
can
one
pull
day
it
and
up.
get
I
out
think I
alive.
might disappear when I do this.
He's got like a suit and tie with a thing.
Oh,
I think
well,
that's
yeah,
him.
but it's a suit and a tie with the thing. Then, yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Keita has friends to get her out of these problem situations. Me, I got nobody.
Did
I
you
don't
shoot
know.
a Beretta?
Key is trying to figure out who it is. She's looking up a name right now. That's why her screen's all frozen up.
Does he shoot a Beretta a lot?
She can't
I think he
respond because she's looking at her phone.
Oh, she must have a Samsung.
All right, I'm going to hang up at this point because I don't want to be on the same podcast as his name being mentioned because
All
You guys
right,
Gonna get a
Sorry,
hit
but
taken out on
I
you.
when I was in the army, we trained with the Israeli special forces, right? They came and they would work with us. Those are scary dudes, like real genuine scary guys. And the Russians are in the same league. So, like, yeah, if you ask me if I'm scared of stuff in life, probably not. But I would be scared of, like, the Russian Secret Service or whatever the hell they call themselves. Yeah. And these guys all play in that world. So, Trevor, you can take that from there.
Listen,
They'll come
man,
find you. They'll come find you.
there's only two things in this world I'm scared of, and that's the good Lord and Mama.
And your wife.
And that's
And
it.
your mama? Oh, your mama?
No. And my wife, the good
Oh,
Lord
your wife.
and Mama.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. There ain't a Russian alive that's more scary than her. So bring it on, bitch.
So, Bill, I just sent you Eduardo de Cobos. He's from Spain, but he's on the Russian shooting team.
Yeah, it's the.
Oh, you sent it to me in a text? That was what that was?
It's Eduardo de Cobos, right? De Cobos?
Yes.
Yeah. I follow that guy. He fucks.
So, I mean, he's a cool guy, but the thing is, he had the guy who owns, like,
Trevor,
literally
do you see the comment?
The shooting team. The guy who literally owns the shooting team and owns him. He's the guy you got to watch out for.
If I get a call tomorrow from Vitale, I'm passing him on to Trevor and Bill because, like,
yeah, certainly.
Pass him on to
He
me,
won't
bro.
be mad.
Listen. Like
Let's
I
say
said,
it's Tina's fault.
unless Big Daddy Putin gets on the phone, you ain't getting me shaking in my fucking boots about no Russian. All right. Even then, I'm gonna be like, go wrestle a bear shirtless, you fucking nerd.
Oh shit.
Oh.
You're on your own,
I'm never making it out of any of Sick Matches alive.
No, you're not.
But seriously,
they're gonna come find you. They're like, oh, he's traveling internationally, is he?
So I'm
gonna go to the Extreme Euro, and they're gonna be like, last time we saw him, he was walking into the woods. I don't know.
I was just going to bring up Extreme Euro. So how is it that we can't run a match here in the States that has like 800 shooters, runs 10 stages in the morning, 10 stages in the afternoon, 3-day format, in and out?
You know why? Because we don't have $500 entry fees and paid resetters.
I'd pay for a resetter.
Paid resetters. Listen, I'd pay $500 to have paid resetters all day, every day for every major match.
Yep.
Me too.
I'd pay $1,000 if I could shoot 10 stages in the morning,
So
10
30
stages in the evening, and have paid resetters.
At the European Handgun Nationals, they had paid resetters who knew nothing about shooting. They put bags on the targets, and they're pacing over the bags. So we need Pixie there to, like, train the resetters. So yes, we should have resetters, but we need someone to train them. When we went to Aruba, they're all like, island life, we move slow, we do things when we want. So the resetters were taking like 30 minutes after every shooter. And Pixie was like, no, you run out there, you do it like this, and then we will race every single time. So she, like, trained the Aruba resetters until it got the match caught up. We were so far behind, having like a 2-hour wait on the longer stages. And Pixie was just like, no, you MFers, this is what we're going to do.
You curse words.
Resetters. Like,
you curse words.
Oh, that's amazing.
Peter sure changed since the last time I saw him. I mean, we were talking about Pixie cursing, and we were talking about taking on the Russian mafia, and like, holy.
I think we're just going to have Pixie take on the Russian mafia. Don't worry about it. It'll be.
She already beat the liberal media.
No, I'm now good with the Russian mafia. Like, we're cool. Like, we had a thing, we had a disagreement. We worked it out. We're fine
I'm
now.
guessing we're not.
Yeah, but now they don't like Trevor. So.
Now they don't like me, so it's fine. Dude, I think I'd get along with Russians just fine. They'd be like, "Oh, you a piece of shit
long
too."
as you drink, like, if you don't drink, they don't trust you. You have to drink, or they don't trust you.
Drink. Yep, you got to drink.
They will not
Speaking
have
of,
a conversation
I'm out
with you until they hand you at least like 5 shots.
Then we'll get along
They
just
will
fine.
not
I grew up in a
That's-
trailer park, Russia, same thing.
I just need 5 shots to be intelligible. I don't. That's just to get me there.
Yeah, Bill wakes up. He's like, well, all right, time to start the day.
Let's go to the gym.
Thank you, Ben Leighton. Long time no see.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say that. Say again.
I said, how have you been, Leighton? Long time no
I'm good.
see.
I'm good. I took on this new career, which is awesome, and I'm loving it. And I have to deal with stupid. No, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Can you delete
like
that?
Me. Y'all catch up. I'm gonna go make a drink.
But
You're like,
no,
recalibrate.
it's good. I
wait,
have questioned my
alive.
sanity with being an area director a number of times, like on a daily basis. But I signed up for this, and that's okay. So, but otherwise, I'm good. I'm shooting good. Shooting better now than I've ever shot, so I'm getting better as I get older, which is kind of weird, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
having a blast. Yep.
Are you getting better, or your standard slipping?
No, I'm actually getting better. I mean, it's actually you're funny. It's actually funny because
That's so funny.
No, I
like
genuinely am getting
Instead
better
of
and better
swear word,
all the
it's
time.
you're funny.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying really hard not to swear. When I have board meetings, I have a little sign across the top of my screen and I say like language, like use your nice words. But anyways, it's actually interesting because you would think as we get older we get slower, but we're not, and it just shows for all the people out there that say, well, as they get older. I mean, it takes time to recover. Obviously, I think that fitness makes a big difference, and I hate working out as a rule, so. I get pushed into that. I literally imagine A zones while I'm working out. I literally visualize A zones.
Every time I try to prepare for a major match by putting in, months of dry fire and live fire practice, and then I go and get my shit pushed in by Phil Strader, I'm like, why do I even bother?
Yeah. It is hard.
I get beat by him. Yeah.
I think that the standard of our sport is definitely climbing all the time. What we could shoot 5 years, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and what people shoot now is a huge difference. You've only got to look at the classifier hit factors and how they keep increasing all the time. But as far as other things go, I think our mental conditioning, plays a big part. Fitness plays a big part. The equipment we use for the most part is better nowadays than what it was in the past. The guns have changed a little bit, but they're more reliable now. I mean, I rarely have an equipment problem. I actually can't remember the last time one of my Eddie guns had an issue, and then on the, just learning how to deal with, the fact that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And, if you have a bad stage, I tell people all the time, everything is measured in mistakes we make, but you can't look at it as bad because everybody makes those mistakes. If you walk up to an Eddie Garcia or to JJ or those guys and say, how's your match going? You say, oh, it's going great. And then you look at the score and you see he's had, 2 deltas and, a mic and something on the previous stage, but they don't beat that into death, So I think there's a lot of those things that have improved a lot. I think training, and I love what Keita does with the movement classes, and I like the fact that, One Sick and those guys, Bill Drummond, Mel Rodero, all of the people that actually put work into training other shooters, I think that has made our standards much higher, and it's also allowed us to cope better. I know that, I shoot against Mel all the time, and I know he's watching because he's commented a couple of times, but, he takes it really hard when he doesn't, quote unquote, win a match, but it's like, dude, there's 10 other guys that can win the match on that day. It's like golf. If you hit a bad stroke in golf, you're going to eat that stroke. You've got to keep it till the end of the tournament. You can't walk away. But the fact is everybody has that. So the mental management side of our sport has definitely changed over the last while. You guys have access to videos that we didn't have 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So you get to watch what other people do and analyze and how many steps.
Hey, man, you had VHS.
Yeah, we did. You're right. And you know what the cost was of filming with a VHS camera?
Betamax.
Exactly. Yeah, Betamax. Yeah, people don't even know what that is, But and we tried. I mean, there's, hey, listen. When I started,
have you guys gone back? Have you guys gone back and watched any of the old '80s fucking USPSA footage?
Dude, I watched a lot of it recently. Like a lot of it made its way to YouTube.
It is awesome. I wish
It
I
is
was shooting in
awesome.
those days.
And people whine about, how athletic or like, our low ports or this, that, and the thing. I'm like, did you see what you guys were doing in the 80s? Like, they had like a ladder. They basically laid a ladder on the ground. We're like, all right, shoot under these ladder rungs. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, their props were way fucking more difficult.
Rob tells me the other day, or says the other day, oh, it's become so athletic and so physical now. I'm like, dude, you guys were jumping freaking walls. Like shooting. You were doing.
You can still. That's actually. I think that's still part of the rule book. Like you can have a barricade. They have to go, but it's not allowed to be any higher than 6 feet. I'm like, holy shit! I want a 6 foot fucking barricade.
Dude, I watched them doing like fucking 50-yard sprints.
That's right.
And then shooting under a table, over a table, 50-yard sprint to the other side, under the table, over the table. Then run all the way back and tag in a partner. Like, fuck you. It was way more athletic back in the day. Oh, no. Nowadays, they're like, oh, man, I got to run 11 yards. And I got to get on
competition.
There's a low port on that stage. And the port's like 3 feet off the bottom of the ground, kind of deal. But it's a low port.
I think the stages are less athletic, but the people in the sport are more athletic.
Oh,
100%.
Nice. Yeah. Yep.
100%.
That's the change. And Bill, you were talking about Phil Strader. The funny thing about Phil is when he doesn't feel like he has to try, he shoots like a beast. But the moment you put pressure on him and he feels like he has to perform, that's when he falls apart. But the minute he doesn't care, you're in trouble.
I'll keep that in mind.
That's what we're gonna do.
You just have to make him care about the match.
Next time I see Phil, I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna try to get him to bet his camper against my camper and see pink slips.
See, I feel like opposite, right? For me, I perform better under pressure than if I'm just like meh. Like if I don't care about the match, I feel like I don't I don't do as well as if I'm like, okay, this match means something. Like time to lock in.
Trevor, shooting with you is like sleeping with a tornado. It's like just one whirlwind after another.
You're welcome.
Sleeping with a tomato?
Expand on that, Leighton. Expand on that.
Tornado. The thing that turns. Like,
tornado.
Expand on that, Leighton.
Yeah, it's like everything is just like hyper. I mean, I literally don't have to take any pre-workout when I'm shooting with Trevor. Like it's like you're just on a high, just lit all the time.
Just bleeds off him. That's because he had like four Bang energies on the way to the match.
Dude, this is actually, I don't normally drink Bang, but I just had one for like the first time in like 6 months, and it's actually delicious.
I want a Bang.
Yeah. Pervert.
No.
Golly, this is a family show.
This is
you fucking pervert.
I saw Phil shoot nationals in 2012, and he was really holding back and like really, really nervous. Then he bombed a stage like hard, and after that, he just kind of let go, didn't care, and then he made a huge comeback. Because the moment he didn't care, it was like, oh man, look out, this guy can shoot.
See, I get into a rhythm where I'm so adamant on like, this needs to be fun, right? I spent so many years doing sports that like I had to be so serious and like they couldn't be fun. Now I'm like, I want to have fun. Like I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, if this isn't fun, why the fuck do it?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to learn that balance. And I think Leighton's seen it a couple times where I'm like, have fun. And then when it's time to shoot, like switch that fuse and make it serious type deal.
That was my thing about limited 10 this year is I did well enough. And they're like, oh, I guess you're going to have to be on the super squad next year. I was like, do I have to? Because
same here. I'm like, fuck.
I've talked to those guys throughout this match, and I really don't want to play with all of them because all they talk about is every little nuance of every single stage all day long. And I'd rather laugh at the guy that, that threw a miss into a wall. Or
we'll be there together, bro. We can make it a shit show in of itself because I'm in the same boat. They're like, oh, you're probably going to be in the super squad. And I'm like, dude, they are not going to like me. Or they're going to fucking love me. I don't know. One of the two.
So this is the danger of these things. So like I remember earlier on, I talked about like there's two of you in the room, you're going to have completely different opinions, right? And so I hated on one division, right? What division was that? L10. And now Bill comes up shooting L10, and I'm like, oh, you see, I should not have said anything about L10. Like,
L10's fucking stupid. The only
I'm
reason I
sorry,
shot it
Bill.
was to get another match under my belt. But now I gotta shoot L10 again because I'm pretty sure I'm in the L10 Super
I think
Squad.
I think it's that high top, that plaque on the right-hand side at the top of the wall back there. That's the L10 plaque.
Not in my house.
Hey, so I got a question for you all. All right, show us the plaque first. Here we go.
Which one?
Wait,
Which one?
We're gonna be serious.
Dude, I can hardly see you. Never mind, see the.
We can't even see it. Just don't worry about it, Bill.
It's all right.
It's so
The one that's
tiny.
the one
I can't
that's
even.
the PetSmart
Small.
freaking achievement for my dog.
Well, at least you got a
even-
PetSmart award. Good for you. Was that for you or the dog?
No, it's totally for the dog. I did a shit job.
So
Oh my
I got a
God.
question for you guys. If you could give a new shooter one tip, what would you tell them?
Who wants to take it first? Do you want me to go first?
Go ahead, you do
No.
it.
Spend your money on proper training with a good instructor. Don't worry about like, hey, I got to shoot 100,000 rounds. Like, get good instruction from a Kita, a JJ, a Charlie Perez, someone of that caliber. That's gonna do you way more. And pay attention. Take fucking notes. A Max Michelle, like you gotta take that type of instruction. Period. Don't worry about shooting 100,000 rounds in your first year. That was my thing when I first started. When I decided to take it serious, I was like, I'm gonna shoot 100,000 rounds. I'm gonna get amazing at this. I got good only because I pulled the trigger so much, but I didn't get good enough because I spent so much time pulling the trigger. I didn't spend the time learning. If I'd have taken that monetary value towards hiring a Kita or a JJ or a Max or a Charlie Perez or someone of that knowledge, I would have benefited 10 times more. And that's something I came upon in my second season where I spent more money on training and was like, oh shit, hey, I'm actually learning something.
Yeah. I took 15 years before I learned that lesson.
Average. Sorry?
I took 15 years before I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
It saves you an average of 2 years off of your training time, plus all of the ammo you would have paid for during that 2 years.
I shot 114,000 rounds my first year, Kita. And I probably learned 1/1,000,000th of when I took my first, between Charlie Perez, JJ, and Max. I took those 3 instructions my second year, and I've been trying to take a Kita class, but hey, can't get her locked down for a class. I've been trying to get you down here for a class. I've been trying. trying to get you in Midland.
You got to go over
my class.
You got to go overseas to go.
I know. I got to go to Russia. but between those 3 and then also Blake Lyles, a buddy of mine, Blake Lyles is a really good instructor. Between those 4 people, and I'm actually like, Kita, seriously, you're coming down here in January, February. I don't care what you say. Between those people, I learned so much that I literally looked at my first full season and was like, God, you fucking sucked. You wasted so much money.
You know, because I get a lot of local guys that just want to come out and shoot matches. They don't care that much about, being the next GM. What I usually will tell those guys right off the bat is don't get DQ'd because you stop learning. And learn the safety rules and don't get disqualified because otherwise you stop learning how to play the game.
I've only had 1 DQ out of 195 matches. And it was the funniest DQ you ever saw.
So, you bring up a DQ thing, which is, and I don't unfortunately remember this in my head. So Rick Brotzel, you guys know who Rick Brotzel is?
No. Good night, Ben. Don't know who you are, but night.
I don't see anything in the comments right now. It's all frozen.
Oh,
well, I'm seeing it for all of us. So keep going. You said who?
So Rick Brotzel is our IT guy. For USPSA. Cool guy, super nice
Younger guy? Is he a younger guy? Well, looks a little bit younger. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And he's also the guy that is behind the podcast. I'm sorry, behind the live stream. And so
he probably hates me then.
No. Hey, so I want to finish talking about what we were talking about now, and then I'll come back to the live stream thing in a second. But so there's a statistic that Rick gave us one day, and unfortunately I don't remember what it is, but I'll look it up and I'll let you guys know. I'll post it or something, of how many people when they DQ never come back to our sport. And it's horrifying. Like, well, you tell me. I think it's because we scare them away. I think that when they get DQ'd, they feel so bad. They feel, I mean, I'm not sure. I wish I knew the answer to that, but obviously I don't, because we just don't see
embarrassment.
It. It's an astronomical percentage. And it's like, if I had to stop doing, every time I screwed something up, stop doing what I was doing, I mean, I probably would do nothing. I'd sit at home.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
That is on us. That's my point, is that when we DQ somebody, I think that we've got to remember that, one, it's extremely embarrassing for them, even if they've screwed up. And two, that you've got to cultivate them a little bit. Like say, hey, come on. I had a guy today, and I don't even know who this guy was, because I shot a club today that I know well, but there's probably 2/3 of the people I don't know there. And he was a guy, he had a bad stage, and I was running the clock, and I was like, hey, so, you okay? He's like, yeah, I should never have come today. I was like, why? He's like, oh, I just had a bad day, whatever. I hope he's not watching this, because he's going to say then I shouldn't be talking about him. And I was like, no, you're looking at it all wrong. You should look at this as an escape from your bad day. And I genuinely feel that with people sometimes. Like, I used to shoot that way. I used to get to a match on a Thursday night. I'd get out there and I'd literally be like, okay, no more work stuff. I'm done. I want to relax now. And I literally would just shoot it, just chilling out, like I'm just here to play. Obviously now I'm much more serious, but we've got to watch people at DQ and like have somebody like a mentor that reaches out to that person afterwards and says, hey, we want you to come back again. We just don't want you to do what you just did, or whatever the case may be.
Let me ask you a question. You ever played golf?
I have.
Have you ever? Shut the fuck up, Bill. I'm trying to make a point.
It's a terrible point.
So, have you ever just shanked one into the other fairway?
Plenty.
So if you did that in the rain, the marshal came up and started screaming at you like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? You broke the rules. Get the fuck off my course, you piece of shit. Would you come back?
Never. No.
Never. But when you do that, you just go onto the other side, you laugh at the people teeing off and go, sorry, buddy, and you hit it out. Right?
They've all been there.
So that's where it comes with, like, DQs. If you get DQ'd in a match, it's viewed as, like, some just terrible offense. Like, oh, my God, you DQ'd? Like, you broke a rule, you piece of shit?
Like, I don't know, dude. I think if you're running into those people, you're at the wrong club to begin with.
Dude, no, it happens at major matches. I've seen it. I've seen it so many times. Area 2, we had a PCC guy DQ. He was at the make ready, and he took his chamber flag out before the guy said make ready. Right?
Well, usually it's not something unsafe. It's breaking a rule.
Yes, but took his chamber flag out. Whatever. The RO was like, what are you doing? And the guy was like, what do you mean? He was like, I didn't say make ready. God dang it. Unload, show clear. Like, God, man, you got to wait for the make ready. Like, what are you doing? Now you're gone.
That's a terrible RO, man. I've run into that where I walked up on a barrel start.
I walked up to the RO. Go ahead.
And the guy had taken his gun out and set it on the table before I got there, and I was like, damn. And he's like, what? I was like, man, I need you to unload, show clear. And he's like, what? I was like, bro, there was no make ready command. And he's like, oh. And it's all about how the RO handles that. These ROs that are doing this, and they don't know that they're being dirtbags, they need to be coached by the CROs and the range masters, because
Mel just said it was horrible. He was there. Like, I had to go up to the RO. Like, I talked to the RO away from everybody, right? I'm not a dirtbag where I called him out in front of everybody. I kind of pulled him away. I was like, hey, man, listen, that guy may be newer to the sport. He may not be fully in yet. Like, if you'd have done that to me, I'm sold, right? You don't have to sell me on the sport. I'm in, right? Nothing's going to deter me. But that guy may never show up to another major match. You have to take that stuff lightly. Like, he broke a rule. He took the chamber flag out with his muzzle pointed in the air. He didn't point a fucking loaded gun at you. Like, take a chill pill, be nice about it, and just kind of tell him, like, hey, man, I'm so sorry, but you did break this rule. We do have to DQ you, but please come back. Like, you know what I mean? There should be ways to handle it, and there's ways not to handle it, right? You broke a safety rule, you broke a rule, whatever. got a DQ. You guys do it in a nice way. I had a lady point a gun in my fucking face at a local match, right here.
I told you to stop bringing your wife to matches.
She's listening.
Have you guys ever given up on a match and just like, I'm done, and
No.
just DNF the rest of the match? Never.
Oh yeah, I blew up. Well, I didn't have any more guns. I blew up both my guns.
Damn.
But that was because I had ammo loaded way too hot. Hashtag major power factor. Blew up some guns and was like, I probably shouldn't go to my third gun. I should probably just go home.
Blow that one up too.
Yeah.
But what's your point? When you say that, what do you mean by that?
I had a lady point a gun in my face, and I still was like pretty nice about it. Like, hey, you broke a rule. I'm sorry, but please come back. Just make sure when you do come back, you keep your muzzle down range. Like, there has to be. The more we're nice to people, even when they break the rules, even when they do stuff they're not supposed to, the more we're nice to people, the more we're more comforting. Even if they did something bad, they're more likely to come back if we treat it as like, hey, it's okay. You fucked up, but it's okay. Please come back. Rather than, you fucked up, you're an idiot. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was pretty bad.
That sounds bad.
That's just terrible ROing.
Yeah.
So that comes back to what we said earlier on when I said, being an RO. I think that, listen, when people are ROs the first couple of times, it's also nerve-wracking for them. They do silly things. They jump to conclusions. When I say that, I don't mean to be. I'm not being disrespectful towards ROs. We've all been there. I've made mistakes as an RO, but having experience and working different matches and having a CRO that knows how to run a stage because he's more experienced. That's, I think, where that stuff comes into it. Because if I was a CRO and an RO stopped the shooter and said that, I'd just walk over and say, okay, settle, like, be nice, we'll fix this, or let's go to the side and let's talk about it, and something like that, Bill, you asked a question about have you ever DNF'd a match or just like thrown your toys out of the crib and left? What do you mean by that?
What? Have you ever just given up on a match and was like, I'm not even going to finish this match right now? Like,
so what's your mindset when you
either
do
so
that?
bad, or you've just mentally given up on a match and just like, I can't even finish the day out?
Never.
Nobody? Just me? I have. It was an IDPA match, but I did.
Oh, well, that gives you a pass. It's IDP gay.
So here's my question to you.
At an IDPA match, I was close.
Mike said, can we have Yelp reviews for staff?
No. Yelp is extortion. Legalized extortion.
Yelp is a piece of shit. I hate that website.
So the thing I would say to a new shooter is use whatever gear you have. Just show up with whatever you've got, shoot the match, get a feel for it. Don't worry about having all the right stuff. Just use what you have. And then while you're there, shoot other people's guns. Say, oh, that looks cool. Can I try it? Get a feel for what you might want. But whatever you have, just show up. Use what you've got. That's
Absolutely.
Generally speaking, this is one of the few things that I've ever done where everybody wants you to play with their gear.
Oh, yeah, for real.
They want you. I'll totally let you shoot my Glock 17. Like,
dude, yeah, if I go to the racetrack, nobody's going to let me fucking drive their car. If I go to the golf course, nobody's letting me hit their driver. Like, here they're like,
how much did you pay for this gun? Can I shoot it?
Test my $10,000 open gun, bro. Feel how awesome it is. Like, it's so good. I shot
Finger
my
bang
first
my gun,
match.
please.
I shot my
you want the
first
holster
match
too?
with an HK VP9. That was my carry gun. And then I shot a Canic TP9 SF until I won my first limited major.
Really?
Shooting minor. And then I finally was like, maybe I should buy a 2011. And then I bought a STI that was really that STI was nice. It was an old STI. It was like a 2004
and now
STI.
You got Atlas.
And then I bought an Atlas, and then I was like, okay.
And then you're like,
kind of nice.
I can't give up on the butter.
Yeah, and then they were nice enough to be like, hey, you want to shoot some stuff? I was like, of course.
Now you shoot. Now you
Still
sponsor.
never got my gun yet.
But I still have that Canic. I still shoot that Canic too. At local matches, I'll pull it out every now and again and shoot a carry optics match or a production match.
I won an Atlas at Dragon's Cup. I don't have it yet.
Did you turn it in?
Turn what in?
Did you tell them like, hey, I won this gun? Like, give it to me?
Oh, they know. Yeah.
What gun did you get?
Whatever they were willing to give me. So I asked for one that they said, no, we're not giving that away.
What was it?
It was the brand new open gun.
Oh, it's not out yet. That's why. That's why.
Yeah, it's not ready yet.
2.0. Yeah, the 2.0 will be out in March for most people. But you know, if you
were
really
swimming a bit there, Trevor. Like you were like a little like.
Yeah, because I was like, that's not like them to not give you the gun you want.
Hands
But if you're
behind the
waiting on
head,
it,
you know, like.
yeah, I
ooh.
was a little worried.
Like,
but if you're
okay,
waiting on the,
I'll take a
if you're
step
wait,
down.
if
Just
you're
give me
waiting
what
on the
you got.
2.0, no,
What was the
I
step
literally-
down, Keita?
I had my phone because I was about to text Adam and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, let them know.
But if
I still
if you're
don't have a
waiting for
gun.
if you're waiting for the 2.0, you're only
No, they
about
won't give that to me.
yeah, they will.
No, because it was from the prize table. So they
What?
said that one's off limits.
Well, it's not out yet. That's why.
Yeah.
But it'll be out in March. But if you want anything else, what do you want? Just pick something off a website. Text me.
What was your second choice from Atlas?
What was your
Keita?
second choice? That's actually a thing now. Because the 2.0 still isn't even a thing. I don't even have one.
I guess whatever they're happy to give me, I will be happy to have.
Well, they'll give you anything. You just got to ask what you want. You asked for a
What is it?
unicorn.
What is
that
it? What is the
exists.
gun that you're waiting on?
How about this? Send me their contact info and I will get in touch with them.
I am going to call Morgan in the morning and tell her she needs to call Keita Bussy and she needs
They
to
owe me a
get
gun.
her a gun. They owe you a gun. You will have a phone call by Wednesday morning. I guarantee it.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be Trevor calling you.
Hey, Keita.
Hey, Keita. So I talked to everybody. I may have oversold my abilities.
No, we'll get you your gun. We'll get you your gun. But yeah, if you ask for the 2.0, I don't even have a 2.0 yet. I got a prototype, but I'm technically not supposed to have it anymore, but I still have it. I should probably send it back.
Well, I was like, really? Any gun I want? Well.
I want the most expensive gun you make.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hell yeah.
I mean, they handed it to me, so I was like, well.
No, we'll get you hooked up. Hey, Bill
So
still has my freaking
let's
nemesis.
talk superstitions.
Well, one of us knows how to shoot it well.
Oh, Bill, you dirty dog. Oh, I'm going to send the Russians to your house to get my fucking gun back. Bill still has my gun from Low Cap Nats.
I'm gonna send you a Glock 17 and be like, no, it totally said. I'll sketch Atlas into it with a little soldering iron.
Well, hey, I've got your Magwell pin, so I'm gonna hold it as ransom.
You do. Yeah. Damn it! I've been looking for that pin.
No, those outfits are nice. They're really
we'll get you
nice.
one. I'll have you one by January. Deal.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
All right, so Keita, just give me your address. I'm gonna have to send you his gun. So
look, Mike already said
like,
she can have one of mine.
Well,
LOL.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
Anyway, what were you saying? What were you saying, Leighton?
So let's talk superstitions, and then I'm going to wrap this up.
Oh no!
Well, we're gonna have to because we only got like 12 minutes left.
We only have 9 minutes before Instagram will kick us off of this thing.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've never done.
Yeah,
I've never done
we
a
can only
podcast
go.
this long.
We can only go 4
reach
hours.
the limit of 4 hours every time.
So I'll give you one that I know, and that's Casey Zubio. He won't paste a no-shoot target.
What?
Really?
That makes sense. That's part of my vision training.
He won't paste the no-shoot?
Nope.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's so cool.
Yeah. So whenever you're shooting with him, always make sure if there's a no-shoot, like leave it to him to go pace that side of the stage and see what he does.
Next time I shoot him, I'll be like, Casey,
shoot all of
pace that no-shoot.
Shoot all the no-shoots on his side of the bay.
What I tell my students
when you're
in
shooting,
my
just put
advanced
12 in the
class,
no-shoot.
if you have to go paste a no-shoot target, you paste it, but then before you walk away, you look at the spot you want to hit. Otherwise, it gets stuck in your brain. Mm-hmm. And that's part of this vision training. Like, it's proven with scientific research. So I totally get why he does that.
Mm-hmm.
It's proven.
That's why so many police officers get hit by cars driving past them, because the car, when you're driving,
Mike
you get
Stoker
pulled
won't hit Mike's.
towards that. That's a
That's
well-known
why.
thing.
That's why most police officers now go to the passenger side. Initially,
Well,
they should anyway.
I mean, I do superstitions too. This is why when I go to nationals, I have to drink my morning Kona naked on the balcony so that I can beat Trevor at that match. So,
so just
I
so
totally
you guys
understand.
know, I took that fucking picture. The picture of him naked on the balcony of our Airbnb drinking a Kona. I took that.
He's
It
so
was
proud.
Everyone
wonderful.
thought it was you, Trevor.
Yeah, everyone thought it was me. I was like, no. But for you guys who don't know, Bill rocking a hog. All right.
Yeah. Well, like this.
No, but as far as superstitions go, I've got one y'all might think is pretty funny. The first day of every major match, I have one pair of underwear I wear for the first day.
Oh, I knew this.
Yeah, and it's American
Same
flag.
pair.
It's an American flag Under Armour pair of underwear, and I wear it to the first day of every major match. And the only time I've had terrible major matches is when I don't wear it, and that is a fact. Look back through my Instagram. If you see where I've had a bad match, I never put it out there, but I didn't wear that pair of underwear, and I've now realized it's a trend.
You know what? Actually, now that you mention it, the thing that I started doing recently was not taking my gun out of the bag until my first make ready.
Oh, Black Girl RN. She's from Wisconsin. Hey, what's up?
I thought it was Trevor. Sorry to offend you, Bill.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was
see any of
me.
the comments.
He posted it on his page.
Yeah,
Why did you
it was mine. Yeah.
me?
It was me.
Oh, well, next Nationals, Bill, I'll do that, and you can take a picture of me, and then we'll post it.
I'm so looking forward to skipping that Nats.
Peter, what about you? What
Shit.
superstition do you have?
Well, I did have a pair of, I had a 4-leaf clover thong that I would wear matches for a long time. It got to be a few years. I'm like, yeah, these are going in the trash. They don't work anyway. I don't have any.
It was a superstition that didn't work. That's weird.
Yeah.
Of all the subjects you got to come up with it.
It's garbage.
You see, it's just different when you talk about a thong and Trevor talks about his underwear. For some reason, it's a different impression.
Yeah, the attention to the conversation wanes a little bit differently.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna have to get my sign out and add something to the bottom of the sign. Keep it appropriate, be good. Well, that's.
And now I'm picturing Mike Stoker popped in and said he only pastes mics. I'm just picturing him pasting air on the sides of targets with his pastry gun.
And still, well, you can't. I guess it's hard for him to miss the mics.
Right. I think he has the most. Mike Stoker has the most comments that I've seen on this anyway. So you should give him some prize. Paste the gun.
Yeah.
Supervel ammunition discount code Kita. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, we'll give you some Supervel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Mike,
for you guys who don't know, Mike is the president of Supervel.
Mike posted something on Instagram the other day, and he caught me in my pissy mood. And so he's like, afterwards, he's like, I didn't mean to become difficult about it. I was like, I'm sorry. It was just kind of hard to know.
Mike's such an easygoing
You're
guy.
born pissed off.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not true. South Africans are cool people. You spend more time there than I do.
They are, but you have to deal with so much trash from your government that it's it's in your DNA to be born defending yourself from the government.
Yep,
so my sister-in-law spent a lot of time in South Africa, and she was in a compound the whole time. She's a cybersecurity expert, and she was like, it was gorgeous till you left the compound. Then it was a fucking shithole. She was in the worst part of South Africa.
Experienced racism. So
towards
being
you,
a white blonde girl, racism isn't generally something I normally am faced with, especially in the U.S. Obviously, we don't really see it against white people. I understand the plight, but
we do in 2021.
Africa, I was treated like trash. I went to a gas station and there were maybe 5 black people in there, and then me and my girlfriend were both white blonde girls, and we're standing in line. We're next up, and there are 5 black people behind us, and they would not let us check out. So they checked out all the black people that were behind us, and they're like, just step aside for a moment. And then checked out all the black people behind us, and then we're standing there with the stuff in our hands we're trying to pay for, and they're like, no. Go somewhere else.
Welcome to 400 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
it's different.
You don't want my money? Like, I'm trying to give you money for some drinks and things so I can go to the range. Like,
shit happens.
You want my
suck.
money? And they're like, no, go away.
Yep.
We're
shit
done
happens.
with you. Leave. You're blonde. You're white. We don't want you.
And you have an American accent.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, if you'd have had
was
his
like,
accent, you'd have been fine.
Yeah.
No, my accent
like, here's
is like
my
very.
money. And they're like, no, go away.
I'm kind of somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean right now. I'm like between two countries. My accent. I go over there, they call me an American. I come here, they call me an African American. I can't win.
Yeah, you don't.
Hey, but
belong
guys,
anywhere.
we only have 1 minute, so we got to wrap this sucker up. But I say we do this in 2 weeks. If everyone's down, we're gonna do another one. Bill, you down?
Yeah, 2 weeks. I got some other stuff tomorrow. I'm trying to do something with the Area 8 director. So
okay,
we'll
so 2 weeks we're gonna do this thing again. But guys, it was such a pleasure having you all. I just don't want y'all to get cut off mid sentence. But everyone, I appreciate it. Bill, you're awesome. Keita, you're amazing. Leighton, love your face. Y'all have been incredible. We're definitely going to do more of these. I like how we get everybody in for the whole conversation. So please come back for another one.
And I love how you just
right,
called
guys.
me and I have my jersey on and like ready to go.
Yeah, right? You were already. Keita was like, I was born for this shit.
Yeah, bring it
I
on.
just sleep in my jersey all the time.
Yep.